I also don't know how I can see the chat on here. I'm doing it on my phone for the first time, so if anyone shows up, this is going to be interesting. Okay, we have chat here. Can I get all of it? There we go. Oh, we have one person watching, which is nice. I didn't announce this. I didn't do anything about it, so I don't know. I'm quite nervous about this. Can I get rid of this? Maybe? I don't know. Sorry, this is completely random. I just thought I haven't streamed in a while. Maybe I should. And now I'm starting to regret it because I'm quite nervous. But if people are just joining, I was thinking maybe I could read you some stuff from a couple of my books, and we could just chat about life, and I could answer your questions, and we could do whatever. And I think it'll be quite fun. Because I haven't. Oh, okay, great. Oh, I can see your live chat on screen. That's brilliant. I have my iPad just in case. But we have one person. So hi, hello. That's lovely that you're here. I appreciate this. Yeah, I feel like as well I haven't really done like a proper sort of announcement for my new book yet. Like I've announced it on like a community tab post and on Instagram, but I haven't really like shown it to you guys in a video. So I thought I could do that today, which would be fun. But oh, this is great. Okay, I can see you all now. This is great, and it's people that I recognize. I'm just gonna. Oh, this is great. Hello, everyone. This is lovely. Okay, I'm gonna do my little spiel about my book, if that's okay. So this is my new book, Outside, and it's my baby, and it's the thing that I've been most terrified to put out into the world for quite a while now. Also, if you can hear Kyra sleeping next to me, she's grumbling away here. Star just says, I wish I had the money for the hardback book. I am so sorry it's so expensive. That is all printing costs and Amazon fulfillment costs, unfortunately. I make about... It's okay, baby, it's okay. You don't need to grumble. I make about £1.50 for every hardback book sold. So it's not a huge amount of money that I'm getting from it, but I wanted to get it to you guys as a beautiful hardback because it's just so gorgeous. But I promise, made it as cheap as possible. But this is the book. I painted the cover myself. That's a whole story in itself. This book has been through like 6 different covers. And I think if you support me on Patreon, or you're a channel member, you've probably seen a lot of those variations of covers, and what it went through over the years. And eventually, like, I tried painting other covers, and none of it was working, none of it was right. And then I finally managed to do this, and yeah, it's finally what I wanted. So for those of you who haven't seen inside yet, let me kind of try and give you a little flick through if I can. We'll see how this goes. Here we go. So it's a massive collection of photography, poetry, paintings, and short essays. And I think there's something like 9 new poems in here. And I will count up the little essays for you actually, because there's quite a few little ones. If you include like the introduction, you're right, Coopery Pie. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, their poems, 13, 14, and I think 15. So you've got 15 short essays in here. So it's a chunky boy, but mostly it's meant as like a big kind of visual piece. And sometimes like the photos and artwork and stuff are kind of explained a little bit in the essays and like the reason why I chose them and stuff. And I keep flicking through to this back bit. I have to show you this. I have to say a massive thank you to all these guys, because I have this. So basically it's split into 4 sections. We have plants, animals, places, and people. And in the last section, people, some of my friends were a massive help. So a few of these people you might recognise. So JD from The Longest Johns, he was the one who let me use the photos of these guys that I've taken over the years in here. And then we got another poem. And then Erwin from The Hoosiers, he was a massive angel and a massive help with this book. And again, he let me use photos of him and Al. And I think Leighton and Paul might be in here somewhere in the background. And then another massive thank you goes to Ollie from Stornoway, because he let me use photos of him and the guys in this as well. And I just want to showcase like a little bit of my like live music photography, because it's been such a massive part of my life. You okay? Do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to come sit on my knee and say hi to people? Come here, Grumble Pig. Come to Mummy. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try and turn the camera slightly. That's where she is. That's my girl. Okay there. And yes, she is currently laying on my pajamas because she's a little bear. I feel like I am kind of missing the chat a little bit because it doesn't stay on screen long. So let me try and get up the app on my iPhone so I can actually reply to you guys properly, if I can remember how to do this, because it's been a while, hasn't it, Coobs? I had a look back on my YouTube thing. Apparently I haven't streamed since December 2023, so that is like forever ago. I've just been petrified to live stream. I don't know what it is. I've been so nervous and worried, and I've been struggling, haven't I, Kubi? I know. Okay. How do I get this? Oh, Michael says, I'm still surprised you did photography work at the Chapel Roan concert. That was awesome. I said awful then. So I wasn't actually there as a photographer that day at all. I was just a person in the crowd. But I left here at like 10 a.m. and because it was a festival, it was Leeds Fest, and I was there the whole day. And because I went to see Red Rum Club, who were on first at 11. And oh, people asking about tattoos. See, this is where I want to get the chat up so I can actually read this properly. Let me try another thing. God, sorry, my thoughts are so all over the place. Aren't they, Kubri? I know, Grumbles. I know. Tell you what, let me try and do it this way. Gorgeous girl. Am I going to hear my voice coming out here now? Oh, yeah. That's me. There we go. All right, perfect. I have your chat here now. I don't just want 5, I want everything. How do I change that? Sorry guys, bear with me. I will figure this out. Here we go. Chat filter, all messages. Perfect. You, young lady, are a little piglet, aren't you? You sure you don't want to come sit on my knee? Come here. Let's squidge you over. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, stealing you here. I got you. You just need some attention. Yeah? You do, don't you? I know. Everyone needs some attention sometimes. It's fine, isn't it? I love you. I love you. Little Grumbles. Just say hi to everyone. They're all watching you. I think they're all here for you, actually, because you are far cuter and more interesting than me. Look at your gorgeous face there. You're so perfect, aren't you? You're so perfect. Okay, so, without getting too sidetracked, Chapel Roan at Leeds Fest. Yeah, I actually just bought myself a ticket and wanted to go for the day to see Chapel Roan, but also I want to see Red Rum Club and the Kooks and oh god, who else was playing? I can't even think off the top of my head now. I know. Guys, can you lie down for me, babe? Yeah, you lie down for mama. Good girl. And it was wonderful, and I just took my little point and shoot Fuji camera with me, and I just had my phone, and I managed to get some great photos anyway, despite like not being there as a photographer and not being in the pit or anything. I was just a big Chapel Roan fan is all. Would you like? She's already had a snack before I started, but I'm thinking I might give her a little biscuit. Would you like a biscuit in your bed, and then you might calm down a little bit? Yeah, biscuit in bed. Do you want that? She's so people, your cute face. Look at her. Do you want a biscuit in bed? A biscuit? Yes. Come on then. Oh, bless her. She's such an angel. You know, I was going to say, do you guys want to come with me to the kitchen? Do you want to come to the kitchen with me? Yeah. Go on then, you can come to the kitchen with me. It's not very exciting and my whole flat's a mess, but you can do this. Right, are we getting a biscuit, my angel? Okay, don't look at the mess everywhere. What are these? We got gravy biscuits for the angel. Do you want to have them in bed? Go on then, get your basket. Good girl. It's quite fun doing this on my phone. I can actually bring you with me. There you go, my gorgeous. And then there's a little bed down there. Okay, again, let's not look at the mess everywhere. Oh, God, I'm banging my knee. I'm too old for this. Oh, I'm definitely too old for this. Live streaming, movement. Oh, too old. Okay, right, let's have a look at the chat and see how this goes. Okay, we have so many of you here that I recognise. This is so lovely. Oh, this is lovely. Thank you so much. Sarah says, don't feel bad about the price, I didn't mean that, I haven't got it for Christmas, love you. Oh, thank you so much, that's so lovely. I do feel bad about the price though, because I think it's about £45 in the UK, and while that's standard for some big hardback books, it just feels like a lot of money, and I don't like to overcharge for the stuff that I make, and I try and keep everything as cheap as possible, and keep my profits as low as possible, because I want things to be accessible to everyone, and yeah, it's just, it makes me feel bad sometimes when I can't always do that. But I'm glad I could at least put this together, because it's something that I put so much of my heart into, and oh, careful, gorgeous, you okay? Bless her, sorry, little coughs. Yeah, I'm happy it's out in the world. But I was thinking, if you want, we could do a little poetry reading from it or something like that, or I could read you, like, I don't know, the little introduction or something, just whatever you guys want, really. Although you'll have to excuse me if it's a poem, because I haven't performed in like a year now. I've been, this whole last year, you guys probably know, has been like really hard on me with like the whole breakup, last August, end of August, and I've had like a lot of health problems for the last 2 years that are still ongoing, which I can tell you about in a minute if you want. It's more uterus related problems, which is drama, but yeah, so I've been too afraid to go on stage, and I've been trying and wanting to, and like my friend Sammy runs an open mic, and she's wonderful, and she's been trying to get me to go so often, and I keep meaning to go, and then I chicken out, and I just lots of anxiety around it. So maybe if I do a little poem for you, like on a live stream, that'll be a nice way to like ease myself back into it, and I'm afraid it won't be perfect, but it'll be something, so, you know. Oh, Alex, thank you. Loved your male loneliness video. Thank you so much, and that's so damn lovely. And thank you for the, what do we call this? Is it a super chat? I can't remember. Whatever it is, thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. Where are we now? The white net thingy. Oh my god. Okay. So who was it who said this? Sasha said she likes the white net thing behind me on the wall. It's pretty. This is actually meant to be a like a little hammock for stuffed animals and toys, but one of my hooks broke, so I'm just waiting to get like a new command strip to stick it up with. They are in the post currently, but once I do, it kind of goes across there, and then a lot of my stuffed animals sit in it, so I can always have them with me, which is lovely. We don't have many with us today. I just have this little angel with me on the bed. Don't judge me for this. She's called Cooberry, like Koobeary, Cooberry, and of course she's named after Kyra, and she's a Build-A-Bear bear. And what I kind of loved about her is she comes up with one of those things where you can get like a star certificate and like name a star. So I got to name a star after Kyra, and it's up there in the not in the Pegasus constellation, but in the middle of where the Pegasus constellation is, and I've got the star marked on my little star map app on my phone, so sometimes, especially in the summer, me and Kyra will sit outside on the balcony, and I'll be like, look baby, that's you, that's your star, and it's quite sweet, because it means like even when we're apart, and maybe sometime when she's not around anymore, which will not happen, obviously, she's going to live forever, but it just means she's always going to be up there watching over me, which is lovely, and it's a silly sentimental thing, but I love it. So, it's my Cooberry. Right, where are we? Yeah, sorry Koo was so talkative, bless her. I think she's a bit like, mother, what are you doing? Like, why have you brought a table into the bedroom? Because we're in the bedroom right now, I just want to be comfy. She's like, why have you brought a table into the bedroom? Why have you brought a light in here? Why am I not sleeping yet? Bless her. She, as it starts to get darker at this time of year, she thinks as soon as it gets dark, that means it's bedtime. And it's only 7:30 here. So she only had a tea an hour and a half ago. She only went out for a walk like an hour ago, and she's already like, come on, bed, mum, come on. Bless her. Oh, bless, you guys are sweet about the mess. Thank you. Naruto 85 Raisin Shuriken says, I also really enjoyed your most recent video about male loneliness via podcast. Definitely kudos to you for refusing to whitewash Charlie Kirk's history of being a bigoted scumbag. Thank you. I was a little bit scared about that, and I thought I might get some backlash, but most people, well, actually everyone's been really supportive about that, which has been nice. The comments on that video have been a little up and down. It's like 95% really damn positive and people being amazing, and I appreciate that, and then 5% of people saying, I'm a man and I didn't watch your video because you're a woman. I'm a man and I only scrolled through your chapter titles and here's why I think you're a terrible person. I had one person say that male suicides were on my hands personally, and I had blood on my hands for making that video because they didn't watch the video but they assumed I said X, Y, and Z, and I was like, a little harsh, but okay. And yeah, so some of them have been a little hard to read, but we'll see how it goes. On the whole, it's been a good response. And it's nice that people are actually seeing this video and watching it. But I did see like there's this new feature now where like channels under like 500,000 subscribers can be like hyped or something, and I still haven't figured out what that means. But on the studio app on my phone, it had a little thingy under it saying the word hyped. So I think that means someone did something, like one of you guys watching, and then that like kind of got it promoted a little bit and pushed out more, and more people have seen it, and I was like, thank God people are finally watching my videos, because I was getting a little nervous. And I put so much work into that video, it's embarrassing. I worked for like 2.5 solid weeks on the script, and then filming was over 2 days, and then editing was 2 to 3 days, and it was exhausting. And especially like, so okay, let me tell you about my uterus if you want to know. You guys know I've been having issues for a long time with like period pain and everything like that, and for a long time they've just been trying to like plaster over it and say like, well, we'll try this birth control and this birth control and you know, that sort of thing. And they were like, we're not really going to try and figure out what's causing it, we're just going to try and treat it and hope that works. So one of the big things they did with that was they tried the Marina coil, and they had trouble getting that in because it turns out I have an abnormally small cervix and an oddly positioned cervix. So I had to wait to get that put in to see a specialist because the regular doctor couldn't do it. And then I finally got that in, and I had solid like bleeding and pain for 6 months, and it was horrific. And then the bleeding stopped, and I stopped getting periods altogether, which was fantastic. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I started getting like daily cramping and pain, and again, that was also horrific. And I went for ultrasounds and a whole bunch of stuff and tests and everything, and it turns out that my uterus is just too small for the coil. And combined with all this, they've told me that because I have this like abnormally small uterus and abnormal cervix, I probably couldn't ever carry a pregnancy to term, because it would likely kill me and or the baby. So I had about 18 months with the coil of constant everyday pain, and it was just exhausting. I had like the worst brain fog, and everything was just draining and horrible, and it was a nightmare. And then 2 months ago, I finally got that taken out, and that was an experience in itself. Oh God, I got on the table, got the speculum in, and I had a whole panic attack, and there was tears, I couldn't breathe, it was a whole thing. And then she had to like take it out while I calmed myself down, and then I was like, nope, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get it out today. And then we finally did, and it was painful as hell, but we managed it. And then I started on the contraceptive injections. I was like thinking, this is going to be great. This seems like a brilliant option for me long term. Except it turns out I can't have full body hormone stuff like that because it mimics menopause in me. And the exact same thing happened years ago when I was on the pill. So basically I was having these hot flushes, I was having night sweats, I had absolutely no memory for anything. Like, I'm pretty sure there were some days when Kyra had 2 breakfasts because I simply could not remember if I'd fed her in the mornings. Like, my brain was an absolute mess. I was brain foggy all the time. I was slightly dizzy. My appetite was all over the place. There was a whole bunch of stuff, so couldn't have that. So now I've been off the injection for a month, and they're finally referring me to a gynecologist to get me tested for endometriosis. And I finally got a GP who is supporting me potentially getting like uterine ablation, which is basically where they, well, to put it in very blunt terms, they kind of burn your uterine lining so that it can't grow anymore, which means I wouldn't have the heavy periods, I wouldn't have the painful periods, and I also can't get pregnant, which would be perfect. But they likely, well, they don't often do that in women of my age. I'm only 32, and they don't do it with women who don't already have kids and aren't married, which sucks. But my GP supports me, so we're going to see how this goes. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm still struggling with, since I came off the injection, getting random cramps every now and again, and I still, like, because the injection doesn't just leave your body straight away, so I'm still dealing with those effects of, like, the brain fog, the forgetfulness, the hot flushes, although they are reducing, but anyway, that's where I'm at. Sorry, just thought I'd give you a health update. No more uterus talk. Okay, let's see where we were in the comments. Also, if you just heard my shoulder crack, I'm so sorry. It's age. God, my bones just and joints just creak at this age. Where are we? Storage says, I love hearing you talk about your and others' poetry. I appreciate it so much because of your videos. Thank you. Jeremiah says, hi lovely, I'm very much enjoying the longer form content you've been doing. There's something cozy and exciting about long form videos. Thank you for all the work and editing you do. Oh, bless you, thank you so much. I feel like that's something I've been struggling with recently is editing as well. Because I've got like all this brain fog and forgetfulness, I do, like, I worry that I've just not been as quite on top of it in videos recently as I say recently, like the last 2 years while I've been in constant pain. And like, because I have a lot of like stumbling of my words when I record and when I film, and I have a lot of like when I get nervous I stutter quite a bit, and yeah, I make a lot of mistakes. Like in that 3-hour video I probably cut out like half an hour of mistakes that were just me stumbling over words and mistalking and things like that. And that's annoying to me because, well, I hate it. And when it comes to editing, like, you can't always catch them all, and I do miss a few here and there. And I think what I find upsetting is, like, I saw some people talking on the Fundy Snark subreddit, and they said that, like, I literally never edit any of my videos, and I never do any editing, because I always leave, like, 1 or 2 speaking mistakes in there, and they think I'm doing it on purpose out of laziness, and that means I don't do any editing in any of my videos, which, I mean, if you watch them, you can see that I do. That just upset me a bit because, like, it's already something that I'm feeling guilty about and I'm self-conscious of, and now I have people thinking I'm doing it on purpose, and I'm just like, it upsets me a little bit, and I'm not quite sure how to deal with those feelings I'm having. So that's something I'm working through, because I think it's hard as well when you know a lot of it is, like, caused by not being very well and this, like, brain fog and forgetfulness, and, like, you can't help but, like, get kind of angry at yourself for it, you know? So I'm trying not to be too hard on myself and just working through those feelings, and obviously trying to be more conscious, but I'm also human and mistakes slip through, and that's hard. So I don't know, I'm working on it. Anyway, sorry, I'm just rambling. This is apparently just an excuse for me to ramble at you for however long. Thank you for being here. Amira says, hi, I bought your book outside, it's glorious. Oh, bless you, thank you so much. Oh, you're wonderful, thank you. That really means a lot to me. Oh, bless. Oh, and Beetletees from you, my partner. Oh, thank you. I love my Beetle t-shirts. I wear them all the time. I've got the all over print ones of the blue and green Beetles, and I am obsessed. Actually, you know what I wear the most, actually, is my, like, abstract paint t-shirts. You know, they're an all over print. I love the all over print t-shirts because they are so damn soft. I don't know if any of you have got them, but they are the comfiest things. And I wear the abstract paint ones all the time, and it's always funny because it always divides people's opinions when they see me wearing it, because they're either like, that's so cool, where'd you get it from? I'm like, oh, I made it. Or they're like, that's an interesting choice. But I like it. That's so sweet. I love the idea to name a star after your Kyra. I know, it's because she is a little star, isn't it? She's an angel. Oh, bless. I wish my dogs were like that. They want to hunt lizards and bunnies when it gets dark. Cheeky little beasts. What are they like? I love that. Aw, someone says your makeup looks perfect. Wow, thank you. That's lovely. Oh. Love it, folks. Don't watch and still give you that sweet engagement. Well, there is that. The audience that has been called is largely very kind. That is absolutely true. Yeah. There's a lot of really lovely people here. Oh, Michael, thank you for the little dancing. Is that a lime? Is that a dancing lime? That's very cute. Thank you. I love that. Yeah, a lot of people in support of the Charlie Kirk stuff. Wow, okay. This message has been held for review, but I'm just going to say this. Leo says, don't want to be a sweary word for penis, but maybe just use condoms. I do use condoms, I do. But I don't just want birth control to manage my periods. I mean, I don't just want birth control to stop me getting pregnant. I need them to manage my periods. Condoms don't stop with the bleeding through my clothes every half an hour and the constant pain and the throwing up in the toilet constantly and having to take days off work because I can't walk from the pain, you know? That said, like, even when I had the injection and the coil, if I was intimate with someone, I still use condoms then because I wanted 2 forms of birth control just to be extra sure. Condoms alone aren't, that they're very, very good, but they aren't completely flawless. They can still break, they can still slip off. There's a lot of issues that can happen. And like I say, they don't address my issues with my uterus. So I know you may have been trying to be helpful with that comment, but it's a little ignorant, to put it nicely. And I just think, you know, maybe I'm assuming you may be a man, and I'm assuming you maybe don't have a uterus, but I may be wrong. Yeah, condoms don't condoms don't help with period problems at all. They suspect I have endometriosis at this point, and that's what they're going to be testing me for. And to test for that at this point, they need to do a surgery, which is basically like a keyhole surgery where they go in and actually look at the tissue, and basically it's kind of the tissue that should grow in your uterine lining grows too much and elsewhere in the body, which would also probably explain the pain I have, like in my back, in my sides, even I get pain down like in my thighs and stuff. Yeah, they have to do a surgery to test for that. And again, if it's endometriosis and they want, or they can treat it, that means literally cutting tissue out of me. That's the only way to stop the pain. So again, that's not something condoms can help with, because this happens whether I'm sexually active or not, you know? Okay, right, where were we? Okay. The rest of you have been lovely though, thank you so much. There's some really, really nice positive comments here, thank you. Oh man, your videos have been so comforting and educational, and your meds have been making me feel awful, but this live stream is a great time. Oh, bless you, thank you. And I'm sorry about your medication. I hope you're doing okay. Bless you. Oh, actually, that is, speaking of medication, that is another kind of positive that I've been given. I've done like a lot of research on this myself, and I didn't even know that there is a medication I can take that can help reduce my bleeding, which may in turn help reduce my pain, which is fantastic. So once my periods properly start up again, because at the minute I've been having bad cramping but no bleeding, like it started yesterday and it was horrific yesterday. Today I've been taking painkillers all day. So I've got, once the bleeding starts up, I've got a new medication that I haven't picked up my prescription yet, it should be ready tomorrow, but basically it helps reduce the bleeding. And then I've got another one which is an extra strong anti-inflammatory, which will also help as like a little bit of a painkiller. And then to deal with the anti-inflammatory, because taking so many painkillers in the past, like ibuprofen, caused me to have gastritis, so it damaged my stomach lining. So I now have to, whenever I take them, I have to take lansoprazole as well to stop that happening. So I'm going to be rattling next time I have a period, but hopefully it will help with everything. It's just, it sucks that this, like, my natural state is just my body in pain, and it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, Wilma says, really hope you get the help you need. Very happy you have a GP that's supportive at long last. Yeah, she's amazing. I've never had a GP like her before, but she actually listens. She's wonderful. She's supportive. She's really damn lovely. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, having a medical professional that supports you is a blessing. Yeah, hate medical misogyny. Just let AFAB people start making decisions about their own bodies. Yeah. The thing is, like, it's even some women that do it. Like, I've literally had women doctors before say to me, like when I asked about sterilisation in the past, they've, oops, lost my chat there. They've literally said that, you know, we don't do it in women your age, we don't do it like in women without children, because what if you change your mind and you want kids? And the worst bit was when she said to me, but what if you get married? And I was like, well, what do you mean, what if I get married? And she went, well, what if you get married and he wants a kid? And I was like, if he wants a kid, I won't be marrying him, will I? And it was just like she couldn't quite wrap her head around that. So yeah, it's been rough. Yeah, Aries Rose says, I'm sorry to hear about your health woes, but the one positive is that you don't want kids and your body aligns with that. It would have been terrible if you wanted them and couldn't have them. You're absolutely right. You are completely right, and that is one thing I am quite grateful for. You know, try weightlifting and strengthen your bones. You need to go too heavy, but I have actually started going back to the gym recently, which is nice. So I do like a little bit of weight training and I do some cycling there. And I started running as well, which is really nice. But that's how I sprained my ankle before tramlines, which was a nightmare. I was shooting a festival for 3 days with a sprained ankle. It was not fun. But that's all healed up now, so I'm back to running and stuff, which is nice. Oh, Jeremiah, thank you for the super chat. You say, yeah, all that pain and brain fog sounds like hell. I'm so sorry to hear you've been struggling through that. I hope the OBGYN is able to get you the surgery. Bless you, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, and thank you for the super chat and everything. Thank you. Travis says, love the shirt. It is metal as F. It's really cute. It's from Disturbia. I love this. It's you know, I like my mushrooms. It's great. I love this. Plus, it's really comfy. Love a comfy shirt. Oh, okay. Interesting question from Donald here. Says, I'd love to hear you give some comments on what you do for mental resilience to get through the research of your videos, which requires listening to a lot of misogyny. Oh my god, you know, it's genuinely hard. Like, I have some days where, like, I'm just like, I need to just go have a nap because I'm very tired right now and I'm very sad. And it's difficult because, like, if you listen to that stuff too much and you read it too much or watch it too much or whatever, like, you start to feel like, oh my god, everyone must be this way, everyone must think this way, everyone must be like this, and it can really, really get in your head. So for me, it's really important to actually, like, get out in the real world and see, like, good people and see my friends and chat with them and just be like, oh, thank god, you know, there's nice people out there. Like, my writing group is amazing. I've got some really good friends. Like, just, you know, like, when you see, like, a lot of, like, the Andrew Wilsons and stuff like that spouting misogyny, I'm just like, let me just go speak to some good men, please. And they can just, like, reset my brain and be like, oh, thank god, there are nice people here. You know, things like that. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just, like, going and speaking to good people instead. That and naps. Naps are really helpful. I love my naps. Snail says, I discovered your channel recently. Do you still do poetry videos? Yeah, I think I definitely will in the future. I haven't for a little while, just because the inspiration's not quite been there. But I absolutely will get back to doing them at some point. I kind of go through stages where I make certain videos on certain topics more than others at different times, but it all comes back round, and, you know, I'll probably do some more in the future and we'll see. I still love my poetry. I do. What we got here? Oh, that's great. So Griffin says, I had keyhole surgery for endo. It went fine, if that helps. That actually does. Thank you. It's something I'm quite nervous about. One of my sister's friends had it as well, and she's also called Rachel, actually. And so Sarah Jane's been telling me a lot about, like, her experience and stuff. And because basically, like, she had the surgery afterwards to remove a bunch of the tissue, and a ton of it just grew back for her, and she's still struggling and in pain. So that's also another thing that worries me a lot. You know, if it happened to Rachel, it could happen to any of us. And, like, not saying that's even what it is, it's just at this point they've kind of ruled out everything else, you know? There's no more cysts at this point, because, you know, I had the ruptured ovarian cyst the other year, and that twisted my ovary, and that was a whole other bunch of pain. It was an absolute nightmare. Where are we at? Travis says, try weed, weed's the gift from the universe. It is very much illegal here, and also it's not really my kind of thing, I'm afraid, but I appreciate that it's very good for some people. Donald says, does weed help with menstrual cramps? I've never heard of that. That, if anyone in the comments wants to answer that, you go ahead. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat now. Yeah, Anna says a discussion about what your partner... Oh, sorry, I think it's something like, if your partner wants kids, makes me so angry. Right? Yeah. You know, my good GP this time. Even she was like, because it's all in my notes that I don't want kids and everything. She was like, so you're fine with that? Is still, still on board with that? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And she was like, I'm so sorry, I have to ask. We're told to. What if you meet someone who wants kids? Would you change your mind then? And I was like, absolutely not. And she was like, yeah, I didn't think so. But apparently, like, I'm not saying they all have to ask, but she was told basically like, you have to ask. So, yeah, just one of those things. Cadra says, why don't you want children if you don't mind me asking? This is something I've spoken about in quite a lot of old videos actually, and I've got some others on it if you want to go check it out. But there's a lot of reasons for it. For one, I hate the idea of being pregnant. That freaks me out. The idea of like having something growing in my body like that, I just, oh no, do not like that. I wouldn't want to go through childbirth. Absolutely not. I don't really like babies or enjoy being around them. I don't like children or enjoy being around them. I have no desire to be a mum. I don't think I'd be a very good mum. I do worry that like with a lot of the mental health problems I've had in the past, I worry that they'd either be like maybe passed on or it would affect my ability to parent and I wouldn't be good at it. And it's just not something I've ever envisaged for myself. I can't even speak. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like, like baby dolls and stuff. I found my Barbies and bears and that sort of thing. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of reasons for it. And now that I know I've got like these uterus and cervix issues, like chances are if I tried to carry a pregnancy, it would kill me. So I'd rather not have that as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, I have such a little itch on my back today. I think there's like a hair down my top. Sorry, I'm not just like wriggling for no reason. Loved your videos, misogyny is blood boiling, but your takes during the video are very antidotal. Oh, bless you, thank you so much. That's lovely. Anna says, I'm 36, but just got diagnosed with PCOS and a long-time relationship, and my doctor said I'll have problems having children, and I said that's good because nobody wants children. Relatable. Love that. What have we got? Yeah, because I had to take a huge step back from bad news recently for similar reasons, especially being in the US. Oh my god, tell me about it. And I know I have a lot of American viewers, and oh, surprisingly, you know what? A lot of German viewers. It's interesting. But I don't know if you guys have seen what's been happening in the UK recently, but reform voters are getting louder and more prominent, and they're just quite scary. Some of them are just so ill-informed. Most of them are completely racist. Nigel Farage is a horrible little gremlin of a man. He is a racist bigot. He is this like hoarder of wealth, and he's a rich little boy who's convincing all these working class people that he's working for them, when in reality all his plans would do is make life harder for working class people and people of colour and immigrants, and he's just a nasty, nasty little man full of hate, and he's somehow getting more and more power, and we're seeing like, bigger protests from reform voters. They're graffitiing England flags everywhere. It's just, oh, they're the worst. Absolutely the worst. Been such a channel for ages. I remember when you were big on atheism and fashion hauls. It was an odd mix, but it worked. I still do my atheism videos, and I still occasionally make my like fashion and makeup videos. I just put them over on my second channel now. That's all. Still love that stuff. Absolutely. Aw, Joanna says, off topic, but I love the hair colour on you. It complements your tone so nicely. Bless you, thank you. I've got my roots growing in now quite a lot, and they're a lot darker than I remember them being, which is fun, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying the hair colour for now, but I do miss my pink. I think I may go back to pink in the very near future. We'll see how it goes, you know? CT says, you're so inspirational to me. Been a long time since I watched your videos, but I hope you're doing well. Probably going to binge your vids again after the live. Oh, bless you, thank you so much. Oh, that's lovely. Quintel says, hi Rachel, your videos help me feel less alone when I'm stuck at home by myself. You also help me realise I have autism. Thank you for your content. Oh, bless, thank you. And thank you for your super chat. That's so, so lovely. It's quite funny because, like, it was often people that I was watching on YouTube that helped me realise that, because the first time a therapist suggested I might be autistic. I was about 22, and I was actually terrified to go for a diagnosis because I was like, oh god, like I don't really know what this means. It's gonna change everything, and I was worrying. But it was watching other autistic creators on YouTube and also getting comments from a lot of you guys being like, have you thought you might be autistic? Like I am, and I see a lot of myself in you. And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing. But that was what helped me realize it and helped me go and like push to get that diagnosis and go through that process. You know. Oh yeah. Alicia says, hard to relate to the being horrified by pregnancy thing. I find it fascinating, but do not want to experience it ever. It's, oh god, have you ever seen like the diagrams in the MRIs of like a pregnant woman's body, and you can see how like the baby in the womb, like it growing so much, has like pushed and moved all the organs in their body. It's just, the idea of that happening to me freaks me out so much. Very much all about a childless future for me too. I'm already responsible for my niece and nephew, but that's all I'd want to be responsible for, raising a human life. Yeah. People who shouldn't have kids have a ton of them, and ones who fret and think whether they would be good parents and actually don't want to have kids. Funny how that works. Yeah, sometimes. Nigel Farage is indeed a horrible little gremlin. Yeah. Reform aren't like TERFs, aka neo-Nazis. Well, honestly, a lot of politicians in the UK now are very, like, TERFy, if we're talking, like, transphobic TERFs. It's horrible. Even Keir Starmer. No. My family's always been Labour voters, and the fact that he's the best Labour can do is just very disappointing. That said, I've been a Green voter for the last few elections, and the Green Party seem to be doing pretty damn well, you know? They seem decent right now. We'll see how things go though. But no, most Tory politicians, most Reform, horrible. Bigots in every sense of the word. Where are we? God, there's so many flags around my town and spray painted everywhere. I don't feel safe walking alone in this area anymore. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends say that and it sucks. Absolutely sucks. Oh, bless you. Thank you for another super chat. It says, ask all live streamers, fave, jazz or swing vocalist, mine Sinatra in the T. Dorsey days, Joe Stafford era, Piper Quartet, Billie Holiday, honorable mentions, Laufey, technically not jazz. I like a lot of like more modern jazzy stuff. So let me go look at my Spotify. Oops, I literally just searched up jazz and says Spotify. So I've got like a really cool like jazz and funk playlist on here somewhere of stuff that I like. I really like, oh, it just crashed on me. I really like Sammy Ray and the Friends. I don't know if you, I think it's kind of jazzy, right? It's like modern jazzy, a little bit of funk, that sort of thing. Love Sammy Ray. What else have I got on this random playlist? Oh, this is a few like older bits. I've got some Ella Fitzgerald on here. The I would call it jazz. A little bit more soul. What else have I got? Oh, this is more funk playlist. Yeah, I've got some stuff on here like Honey Butter, Baby Charles, but again, not really jazz. You're right, gorgeous. You making your bed? Yeah. She's been such a little cutie down there. Guys, tell me some modern jazz musicians. I'm so bad with like actually putting things into genres. Oops, no, that's mine. Ooh, we've got a soul jazz mix made for me. Oh, Amy Winehouse, beautiful. Nina Simone, love her. But this is like soul and jazz, so Frank Sinatra is on here though, but I don't really listen to a lot of him. That's what we got. Oh, a little bit of Ray Charles. Yeah. Yeah, what else? Jazz classics. Louis Armstrong, love him. So that's my tummy rumbling then, if anyone heard it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Right. Let me go back to YouTube and find this chat again. I hope that was slightly helpful. I don't know if it answered your question, I'm sorry. Where are we at? I'm just gonna scroll down a bit and try and catch up. Where are we? People saying, I love the Hot Sardines, they do great jazz covers. They do a great jazz cover of Addicted to Love. What am I missing here? Yeah, Nina Simone. Love Nina Simone. A lot of people saying Hot Sardines. It is a great band name. Paris Paloma counts as jazz. I keep hearing that name and I'm not quite sure who that is. I should probably look her up. I'm assuming her. I'm not sure. Yeah. Alice, thank you for answering. You satisfied my curiosity. Alice, thank you. I'm the same as you, Musical Cat. Musical Cat says I'm more of an indie alternative person. That is me. I like my little indie bands. I actually just went to see Red Rum Club yesterday at they did like a little in-store acoustic show at Jumbo Records here in Leeds, and that was really fun. And it was really funny actually because the guys, like, I went to go get my album signed and we were having a good chat. And one of them was like, I recognise you, how do I know you? And I was like, oh, I photographed you at Tramlines. And we got chatting about that. And he was like, are you coming to the show tonight at Leeds Student Union? And I was like, oh, I'd love to, but I don't have a ticket. And he's like, oh, I'll get you on the guest list, it's fine, I'll give you a photo pass. And I was like, oh, like, I wish you'd told me this sooner because I've actually got a date tonight. And he was like, wait, you got a date? And then the whole band were like, you got a date, tell us about the date. And so they all started asking me like where I was going, what we were doing, how I met him, who he was, like was this a first date, a second date, what it was. So I started telling them everything and they were like, oh my god, good luck on your date. So when I got there I told him, I was like, just so you know, we've got Red Rum Club's approval for this date, which was fun. Never had that before. One of my favourite bands like blessing a date, but there you go. And it ended up being lovely. I love Ray. Donald mentioned Ray. Yeah, she is wonderful. I adore her. Rebecca says, do you publish your own books? Asking as an author. I just publish through Amazon Kindle, their Kindle Direct Publishing, because it's the one I found that is like, it delivers the cheapest books to my audience while not like lowering the quality, and it gets them out to like the biggest market possible. And because it's like print on demand, there's no upfront costs for me, which I wouldn't be able to afford. Instead, like the consumer pays, and then printing costs go to Amazon, fulfillment costs go to Amazon, and then I just get the little profit on top of that. So I did both my books with Kindle, and it's quite nice. Yeah, I've had good experiences with them. I did have some issues actually while I was working on Outside, where 3 of the 4 samples I got at different stages of editing and making and rewrites and everything like that, they came with torn, ripped or creased pages, and the colours were just absolutely terrible. And the first sample I got was perfect, and then the next 3 were terrible. And I ended up complaining to Amazon. I was like, this just is not good enough. And they were like, oh, it's okay, we'll refund you for like this, that. I'm like, no, I'm not looking for a refund. Like, I don't want my readers getting a book in this condition. Like, why is it so terrible? Why are things going wrong? Like, I could tell that they'd like put the paper in the spools wrong, and then that's why it was creasing and all this stuff. And I was like, I know like what some of your issues are, and there's clearly no quality control. Why are you still allowing this to happen? So I had a little bit of a complaint. And then the next time I got a sample from them a few months later with what ended up being the final book, they'd actually upgraded the paper quality and the colours were finally better. There were no issues with creasing or tearing or printing errors, and I was like, thank God someone listened. So all I can think is that like a few people had complained and they finally did something about it. But I was getting worried there for a while. But other than that, it's been pretty reliable. Donald's recommended Aurora. I like Aurora. I only know a couple of songs, but I like the ones that I heard. Modern Jazz acts I like Rachel and Vilray, John Pizzarelli, Maria Kim, Benny Benak 3. Oh, Postmodern Jukebox. I love Postmodern Jukebox. I've seen and photographed them quite a few times. Sometimes Manhattan Transfer, Jeff Goldblum, and the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. interesting. Oh. Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on Erwin Welsh? My favourite author. Favourites include Trainspotting, Skag Boys, Marabou's Stalk Nightmares, and Filth. I have been wanting to read some Irving Welsh for ages, and I haven't yet, so that is completely on me. I am not cool enough, but Trainspotting is on my list. The film is obviously a horrifically disturbing masterpiece, and I've heard really good things about Filth as well, but I've not read any yet, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I do have some really cool books to read coming up though. I don't know if you've seen any of these. What I've got by my bed at the minute is Human Time by Duncan Forbes, which is really special because he signed it for me. Turns out Duncan actually watches a few of my poetry videos, and he reached out to me via email and was like, oh, I really like these, can I send you a book? And I was like, I was like fangirling. It's fantastic. So that's been by my bed for a while because I love just having a little read of that. And I've got, what else have I got to read coming up? I've got a little collection of like essays and stories and stuff called Sluts, which is going to be exciting. This has got some really, really interesting looking, what's the word I'm looking for? You know when you like submit an essay to a collection? This is what I mean about the brain fog. Submission? That's not the right word. That's not the word I want, but it's close. It's got some really interesting submissions in here. No, it's not I'll come back to it, my brain's not working. God, I'm so sorry. So foggy-headed. This one, I'm unsure if I'm gonna like. It's either gonna be really good or really terrible. And this is called Long Live Evil by Sarah Rees Brennan. And it's about a woman who, basically while she's dying, she like makes this wish or something to like live in her favorite fantasy series, but it turns out she's the villain of the whole series rather than like the hero. And then this is like the first book in a series about that. So I'm hoping it's good. I've read so much bad fantasy at this point. I get worried, but I'm really hoping it's good. And then I've also got over here, I've got the sequel to the Dalla Dream Department. Oh my god, this is what I have to cut out of all my videos. This is the sequel to the Dalagut Dream Department Store, which, if you've seen, I don't know if I made a video about this on my main or second channel, but the first book in this series was one of the coziest books I've ever read, and it's one of those things where like nothing really happens, but the world and the setting and the characters is just so beautiful and lovely and heartwarming, like you just can't help but love it. So I got the sequel and I can't wait to read that. And then I've also got The Miniaturist to read, which has been on my list for ages, and this one, which is Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which also sounds intriguing. So I haven't started these yet, but I'm getting through it. What am I currently reading? I'm reading Rivers of London and Sex and Rage by Eva Babbitts. You know what I'm trying to say. So I'm getting through them, and I have just come off reading like 20 books for that loneliness video, so that was a busy couple of weeks. Okay, where are we with chat? Donald says, what topic are you tackling in your next video? So I'm reviewing Frida McFadden's The Teacher, which is a book I have a lot to say about. Frida McFadden has had a lot of criticism, and I think a lot of it rightly so. I've read 2 of her books now, and the first one I wasn't hugely impressed by. The second one is The Teacher, and I was like, I have a lot to say about this, let's make a video. So I'm nearly done with my script, and it's nearly ready to film, but I'm just making a few little tweaks still. But basically it's an interesting one because there's a certain twist in the book that, and I was going to say, maybe no spoilers in the comments if you've read it. I'm going to try and keep this spoiler free until we make the video, but there's a certain twist in the book that kind of puts so much of what happens in the book in a different light, and it made me really, really angry because it basically glamorizes grooming, and I did not like that. That said, some of the portrayals of grooming are really quite accurate and disturbing, and I think they're quite good. But then again, she's been accused of plagiarism a lot, so I'm not sure how much of that is her work and how much of it is her copying off other people. So I have very mixed feelings about the book and a lot to say about it. So I'm going to go quite in depth with that. But anyway, right, where are we? Have you heard of a suspense writer by the name of Peter Swanson? I don't think I have. Sorry, that's my fault. Have you seen any recent movies? That's a question. What have I seen recently? Oh god, this is where the brain fog comes in again. Oh, I recently watched The Thursday Murder Club. That was great. Loved that. The cast was perfect, except Tom Ellis. And I love Tom Ellis, but he was so wrong for that character. Other than that, the cast was perfect. And it was just such a nice, cozy mystery, so I really enjoyed that. I can't remember a single film that I've seen. I've got Letterboxd as well. Maybe I should have a look on there. Oh, I recently watched Promising Young Woman. I went through all the different emotions watching that. That ending as well, I still don't know what I think of it. I kind of want to give it 5 stars. I kind of want to give it 2 stars. I don't know. I had a lot of feelings. A lot of feelings. What else we got? Contributions! Oh my god, thank you, Alicia. You absolute angel. There are some really interesting looking contributions in this book. Oh my god, thank you. See, this is how messed up my brain is right now. I've literally, like, when I've been writing scripts at some points, I've been like, I know there's a word I want here and I can't think what it is, but I need to finish my thought. So I literally just, like, leave a blank space and, like, highlight it and I'm like, come back and put the word in here when I think of it. So silly. What else have we got? Have you read the Wayfarers series? I have not, I'm sorry. By Becky Chambers. I took a break from fantasy. I'm reading The Secret History right now. Fantasy is just quantity over quality in the market right now, in my opinion. I agree, and it's a little frustrating at times, isn't it? I've heard really good things about The Secret History, though. So definitely let me know how that is, because that's one I've been wanting to read for a while as well. What else have we got? I'm just going to scroll down a bit. Oh, have you thought about making a video about the it's just fiction excuse for toxic content in especially romance novels? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So that's something that I haven't done explicitly in like its own video, but I've definitely covered it in other videos. So when I covered the what was it called? Was it something like Daddy's Little Girl? The one that got the author arrested, because it was basically child essay, the book. I definitely covered it in there, and I covered it in one of my Zodiac Academy videos as well. I think it was the 3rd one in the series, I want to say. So you might want to go check those out. But if I can, and if I remember, and if I forget, please give me a nudge. I'll try and clip those bits out of those videos and post them as shorter clips over on my second channel, if that's something people would be interested in. Oh, I feel like I'm quite lost with this chat. I'm not sure where I'm up to. Any good dates lately or bad ones? Those could be funny too. Thankfully no bad dates, which is lovely. I've had 2 really nice dates with a very nice man. It's still all very new, so I won't say too much. And I don't want to get my hopes up either, because I've like, it's been a rough year. But I have good feelings. And he's very, very kind, and he's very nice. And he's just as silly as me. So like I say, it's only been 2 dates, but see how things go. Oh, this is a great question. Aries Rule says, are you using AI at all for any of your work? What do you think of it? So I do not, at all. It's just not something I can justify doing, both from the kind of like content stealing aspect and the environmental aspect. I will admit, there are times I've used AI for silly things, like making stupid images for like in jokes in a group chat. And I do feel guilty about that again because of the environmental stuff. But it's very much kind of like a one-off joke. Like one of my friends was just something like, "Oh, can you imagine like if Kyra served me lasagna?" So I went to ChatGPT and I was like, "Here's a photo of Kyra. Can you put her in a waiter costume serving lasagna?" And it was a silly photo to put in the group chat. So even that I have a lot of guilt about. But I could never use it in my work or for profit. That's just, no, that feels wrong. Absolutely wrong. That's it. Thank you. It was Daddy's little girl. Thank you. Yeah, a bunch of you are confirming that. Oh, Kate is asking, do I like audiobooks? Here's something interesting. Never used to like them. I was like, no, I can't concentrate on them, can't take anything in. Recently, I've really started coming around to them because I quite like putting on an audiobook and going to the gym, and like I just listen to it while I'm like doing my weights or like going on a run or whatever, and it's really nice. Because it feels like I'm doing something useful with that time for my mind as well as my body. So I've got into them for that reason. I still can't listen to non-fiction as an audiobook because I just don't take enough in for that. But if it's like a light-hearted, like little thriller or a little fantasy novel that doesn't need huge amounts of concentration, but like you can follow along, yeah, love that. Oh, bless. Oh my god, Lady Lavender Lover says, I have a few books on the go but can't remember them all right now, so I feel you on the brain fog. Tell me about it. Oh god. I was tripping over my words as well. Oh my god, yes, actually, Cassandra, you are completely right. I am lying. There is one time I did use AI because I was curious. So, 11 Labs does this thing where you can do like basically you can either like hire an AI voice actor or you can plug in your own and it will make a replica of your voice. And I was like, I kind of just want to know how accurate this is. It was out of curiosity and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I got like a little like week's trial or whatever it was and cloned my voice. Or maybe I paid like a $5 or something, I can't remember. But I cloned my voice to see how accurate it was. And it's absolutely scary how accurate it was. And so for one of the bits where like I had to like re-record something or like put in an extra bit, and I think I had like tonsillitis and I'd lost my voice, and I was like, oh, okay, like well I've still got this for like a week or whatever it is. Let's use it for this. And it was scary because if I hadn't told people it was AI, I don't think people would have realized, which is crazy. But no, that's not something I do often, or well, it's not something I do other than that one time, and I haven't used it since. But because like I still think you can tell, and like I quite like to like put my own emphasis on things and say things in my own way. And even though AI is quite good at like replicating some of that, there's still tells and like it's still off. So it's not something I could ever it's not something I want to use all the time, you know? It's just where's the fun in that? Like for me, I like this job because it lets me be alone a lot, but also because I like creating things. And if you stop creating things and lose that joy, then kind of what's the point, you know? So, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Cassandra. But other than that, no. um, oh yeah, there's a lot of Taylor Swift debating in the comments. I will not comment. I have mixed feelings. I like some of her songs. I do. I think they're fun. I don't think she's necessarily the brilliant songwriter that people think she is. I thought the Torture's Poets Department was terrible through and through. Like all the songs merged into one sonically. There's nothing really distinctive about any of them. So many of the lyrics were just clunky and awful. But I think when she focuses on making silly, fun pop music that's just enjoyable, like she did with 1989, like that album, I really liked it. I thought it was silly and fun and catchy, and I liked that. Um, I have I am actually quite excited about her new album coming up because she says she's going back to that kind of fun pop sound, and I think some of the songs could be great. I do think the artwork is currently terrible, but it just there's so many things that like a woman who is a literal billionaire like she should have a team around her that catches it. Like the underexposed photos in some cases that like it's clearly not an artistic choice, it's just kind of poorly done. Like the poorly edited background images in the frames, the oh my god, the way the underwire of her bra was like digging into the side of her breast tissue just looked painful. You'd be like, surely someone would have like moved that on the cover or photoshopped it, or I don't know. The ill-fitting clothing, yeah, there's just a lot of interesting lack of choice, if that makes sense, on that album artwork that doesn't really appeal to me. Like, if she was an amateur doing this herself, I'd be like, it's damn good, well done. But because she's a billionaire with a massive team behind her, I'm like, why is no one catching this stuff? That said, I'm still excited to listen to the album. So we'll see how it goes. And I know that's controversial. Lou says, the fun is that we're free up more time to tidy your house, weed your garden, things we aren't building AI for. I guess. I mean, like, I live in a block of flats. Someone else weeds the communal garden, so don't worry about that. I hate cleaning my house. I actually have a cleaner who comes every week. I pay her 30 quid, and I can use that time instead to work, which is a way more valuable use of my time. It's just, I understand, like, if you wanted to automate something you don't enjoy, well, no, that's not the right word. I understand if you want to outsource the things you don't enjoy. So for me, I hate cleaning and I'm not very good at it. So I pay a cleaner £30 to come do it. But I enjoy my job and I think it's something creative and it's something I want to keep doing and not outsource. And if I did, I think it's maybe something you should pay a human to do and not a computer. You know? I don't know. They're just my thoughts. But it was an interesting experiment to do and see how it cloned my voice. But yeah, not something I want to do full time. Oh, people talking about her fiance, Taylor Swift's fiance. Yeah, I've heard he's got like a lot of MAGA friends. Seems a bit iffy. I also keep seeing a clip going around of him, like, oh god, I don't know why I'm bringing this up. Apparently, like he occasionally like messes in his underwear, and he has a lot of stains. And I keep seeing like a video clip of that going around, and I'm a bit like, oh, that's a choice to put on the internet, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, that is Kyra snoring in the background. She's actually, I'll show you guys now where she is. Excuse me, we're just gonna move. She is, again, excuse the mess. Can you see her? I can't see if you can see her. I think, yeah, hang on, because there, she's down there. Sorry, the studio light was right on my phone, I couldn't see a thing. But yeah, she's snoring down in her little basket. She's so happy, bless her. She's got all her blankets tucked up around her. She's spoiled, that girl. She's got blankets, she's got pillows, she's got everything. She loves it. Oh, great question from Julia here. Just jumped in, so sorry if you already covered this, but just wondering what you thought about the Sabrina Carpenter album cover and discourse. That is a fantastic question because, again, I have so many mixed feelings and thoughts and I don't have a conclusion and I'm not sure how I feel. Because I will say this, I love Sabrina Carpenter. I loved her Emails I Didn't Send album. I loved her Short and Sweet album. I think she seems really funny, really charismatic. She's obviously beautiful. I like her like fashion style, makeup style, all of that, and I think that's great. And I was really excited for the new album. And then I listened to it and I was really, really underwhelmed by it because I was just a bit like, oh, again, there's a lot of samey sounding songs. Nothing really stood out to me. There was there was one song I think where I was like, oh, I'd like to listen to this again. And then I did and I was like, oh, actually it's not really doing much for me. So that was rough. Some of the, like the main album cover did kind of give me objectification vibes, as do some of her lyrics, especially on the second album. It's just, again, I'm really conflicted and I don't quite know what to think. part of me wants to believe it's like satire, and she's trying to be like, women have been objectified for so long, so I'm taking it back, and I'm controlling my sexuality, and I'm subverting some of these expectations, and you know, satirizing what women have been expected to do in the past, and she's kind of doing some of that in her lyrics. But on the other hand, I'm like, maybe she's kind of gone so far into that she's just objectifying herself and women again and sexualizing herself. Because like, I see like the album cover for Man's Best Friend, and I was a bit like, who is this for? Because I feel like the only people I saw talking positively about it were men who were objectifying her and sexualizing her. And that's why I worry that, like, maybe even if she had good intentions, it didn't quite hit. But then I feel weird about, like, policing another woman's sexuality in that way. And it's just, this is why it's complicated, and I don't quite know my full feelings. I haven't quite thought out how I feel about it yet. So a good question. I'm sorry I don't have an actual answer. You're a YouTuber who doesn't use a Mac. No, I don't. Got my little this guy. It's a Razer, I want to say. I got it in a Black Friday sale, quite cheap, which was very nice. God, the fan is so noisy though. This heats up so much, and it's constantly going. That's the one downside to this, but like, I can afford a Mac. I do have an iPhone though, I'll be honest. So. Maybe. Well, there's nothing as brilliant with feminist YouTube recently like Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah, exactly. Is it objectification or done tongue-in-cheek? And that's what I can't quite decide or figure out. And I feel like even if it is done tongue-in-cheek, or it was intended to be, does it necessarily come across that way? Has it maybe passed too far and come full circle? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, bless. Oh, you're lovely. This is really sweet. Have you heard about all the book conventions that went horribly, like Sinner and Stardust, I think it was? I don't know the names of them, but I do know something horrific happened at one of them. But I also saw that, like, Savvy Writes Books was going to make a video on one of them. And then a bunch of people, like, on threads were like, oh no, if you weren't there, you shouldn't talk about it, you shouldn't make a video. So that's something I'm quite conscious of. A lot of people think that. Well, that's the point from Louis. Was it done to get attention by being ambiguous in terms of Sabrina Carpenter? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. As Jeremiah says, it is empowerment. If someone wants to be objectified, it's their choice. That's a huge part of what feminism is, isn't it? Women choosing to do what they want. Yes and no, to some extent, but there are massive issues with choice feminism. And in some ways, it can be seen as kind of like leaning into supporting the patriarchy a little bit. So, oh God, there's a book called Faux Feminism, is it? Is it Faux Feminism? Give me a second. Let me Google this. I want to get the title right. Yeah, so Faux Feminism by Serene Kader. And there's also another one. No, actually, I think it's just this one. Words. I think it's this one that I'm thinking of. Which basically it's called Faux Feminism, Why We Fall for White Feminism and How We Can Stop It. But in there, the first couple of chapters have a really great critique on choice feminism and why it can be problematic, and it was really, really eye-opening for me. So I'd suggest maybe that's worth reading if you get a chance. I won't go into it here because, as you can tell, I'm not the most coherent today. My painkillers are wearing off a little bit and I'm starting to cramp again, so a little bit foggy-headed, I'm afraid. Let me have a little bit of caffeine. Oh, here we go. Yeah, choice feminism is not feminism. Objectification is not feminism. Yeah, there we go. Something's not feminist just because a woman chooses it. Yeah, it's a very complicated topic. Some of my all-time favourite music albums have awful covers. Yeah, that's a good point. That's an absolutely good point. Just want to thank you for all the work you do. I've been watching your videos for years and they help me often in feeling less alone. Oh, bless you, thank you. That is really lovely. Okay, at the start of this live stream, I did promise you I would do maybe like a little poetry reading from outside if you want that, if you fancy it. Although again, I haven't performed in like a year, so I'm not quite sure how. Well, I did record the audiobook, but I had many takes then, so trying to think what you might like. We could either do the very, very silly and not serious poem I have about Kyra called Fairy Tale, or I could do you a more serious one, like maybe Wings? I don't know if you guys have heard Wings. Do you have any? Oh, I think I could do a poll in the chat. Give me a second. How do I do this? It's been a while since I tried. Can I set a goal? I don't want to set a goal. Can I do a poll? Maybe I can't actually. That's frustrating. Or maybe I need to do it on here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Might wobble for a second. What is that? Nope. You used to be able to do this stuff. No, I have no idea how to do it on the phone. I'm so sorry. I'm useless. Okay. Just let me know in the comments what you want. Do you want Fairy Tale, which is a very silly one, or do you want Wings, which is a little more serious and well written? Okay, I don't know what prompted this comment, but someone saying I wouldn't really say Taylor Swift has working class roots. She does not. Her dad basically bought her career. She's not working class. Okay, Wings, Fairy Tale. Okay, we got one of each so far. Wings. Oh, Wings. Oh, everyone wants Wings. Okay. So, this is a poem about my mum, which I don't think she's heard yet. I don't know how she'd feel about it. But this is the spread for Wings in the book, and it goes on to the second page. And it's basically a kind of retelling of the myth of Icarus, but about me and my mum, and yeah, I mean, you'll get it. Okay. Oh, I'm quite nervous to do this. Okay. Excuse me if I stumble at all, okay? It's been a while. This is Wings. My mother was scared to watch her child grow up. One time, she caught me with piles of paper, PVA and a pot of feathers, pilfered from Peniston pigeons and washed in that sad sage bathroom sink. I used imperial leather soap, worn down to the size of a penny, and just an icy trickle from the broken tap, to scrub the mud from the dull grey veins, laid each with care and rationed the glue as she shook her head sadly, took a pair of scissors from behind her teeth, and told me I was fated to fall, destined to stall, and when I did I shouldn't call out for help or beg for her. Better to keep my lowly head bowed down, better to keep my feet firmly bolted to the ground. My mother was scared to break the class's cast. I placed the paper, now confetti, aside and tried wood instead, sawing each beam with care and sanding each splinter away. I held my breath, carving every stroke, carefully shaping, my resolution never shaking, intertwining strands of birch, pine, oak and fir, strong enough to never bend, break, fold or tear. She watched me work with a lighter in her hand. A flick and a click and the soft flame danced, as she told me tales of the evil sun, hotter than 1,000 flames, and begging to burn and blister my soft skin. She told me flying was a sin, Better to remain on the land you're born in. Stay content with your lot in life. Stay put through pain, poverty, and strife. My mother was scared. Scared to ever even try. Finally, I found what she couldn't pierce, and worked deep into the night. By torchlight, I welded wings of solid steel, sturdy but cold. Her shears slipped right off. I set out to soar the silver skies and feel the sun's soft kiss. And at first I flew high and fast and got my every wish. But soon the steel weighed me down, and ache spread through my limbs. My back cracked, my shoulders sagged, and quickly I was dragged into the ocean waiting below with open arms and mouth. With pressure building in my ears, my mother's words grew loud. You fluffed your flight, she scolded, like she was almost proud of herself. My mother was scared. Scared to see anyone fall. And how I fell. But what my mother never knew is that we should not fear the fall. For falling is a part of flying, and failing doesn't lead to dying, and breaking is a path to growing, and living means always knowing that we will rise again. So with fire raging in my lungs, I spat and spun and screamed. The heat began to spread within until I felt clean. My lips and lungs began to blister, then each cell grew anew. My new flesh grew stronger, new wings grew longer, budding from my healing back, shedding the shackles of my past. And my mother's words of warning were the only things left falling from my mind as I burst through the ocean's surface and found a brand new life and purpose. And I've just noticed a really annoying little typo in here. God's sake. I've been through so many drafts and there's still a typo. Oh, that's so frustrating. I'm going to try and update that on Amazon as soon as I can. So if you've got this already and you noticed it, I'm so sorry. But there you go, that was wings. That was quite scary to do. I'm so out of practice with performing and all of this. I used to be a lot better. You know what, I can give you a little fairy tale if you want. Tell you what, we'll give it a little break and we'll come back to fairy tale if you still want to hear it. It's my little homage to Kyra, because she's my little baby bear. It's also spelt fairy tale as in T-A-I-L, because baby. Okay. Let's have a look at the comments. Yeah, so many bits of wings. It's quite nice to see people defending intersectional feminism in the comments. I like that. Oh, thank you, Julia. Took a pair of scissors from behind her teeth. It's such a vivid and effective imagery. Thank you. Oh, you guys, thank you. You're all lovely. Appreciate that a lot. Could have been about my own mother. Yeah. Love your meter and rhyme scheme. Oh, bless you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kindness. I really, really do. It's still so scary performing. You know, I could do one from my first book if you want, Reflections on Healing. These are ones that a few of you probably heard a little more often, and they're not quite as I was gonna say they're not quite as polished as an outside, but I found that little typo. I'm so frustrated with myself for that. The amount of times I've read and gone through that book and had other people go through and anyway, always happens, doesn't it? I mean, I literally have an extra space on the back of this one, so it happens. So annoying. Have you guys heard? What might you have heard? I think Puppet Master is my favourite from this collection, but it's quite long. It's like a 10-minute poem, like to perform. But I could do that if you want. It's all in rhyming couplets though. Oh, I've just seen on screen, Julia says, what's your favourite poem you've written? It's Mr. Wolf. It's probably one of the darkest ones, but I think it's my best work. And it always gets quite a response when I perform it, or it did when I performed it in the past, you know. It's been a little while still, you know. What was that from Michael? You did well, and shout out to your mother for raising a strong, intelligent and empathetic daughter. Oh, bless, thank you, and thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. dropping charges. Typos are part of written poetry. Your wings always hurts me a bit when I listen to it for how familiar it sounds to my own relationship with my mother. So yeah, amazing poem. Bless. Thank you all. Lovely reading Candace's poem. So listen, driving home. Wings is incredible. The parents are trying to protect us, but us needing to find our own journey. Bless. Thank you. That's kind of all I want to do with my poems, is like tell you about my own experiences and hopefully have people relate to them and feel less alone and maybe get a little bit of hope out of some of them, you know? Not Puppet Master, fairy tale. Okay, we'll do fairy tale, but it's a silly one, I warn you. Basically, I wanted to do a poem for Kyra in here, and I was really struggling with it. And then I realised that, like, I just need to get specific with who Kyra is. And Kyra's a very silly little girl, and we're very silly together. So there's lots of little references in here to silly nicknames I have for her, and like silly like games and stuff that we play, and just like that lovely cute little relationship we have together. And it's called Fairy Tale because it takes traditional images from fairy tales and makes them about Kyra, and takes traditional images about dogs and kind of makes them about fairy tales, if that makes sense. So it's silly, it's very silly. Okay, so this is Fairy Tale in the book. And there's my gorgeous little girl. And there's actually a few really beautiful photos of Kyra in here. And there's also a little essay about her as well, because she is my little Coopery pie. And she's my everything. I love her to bits. Yeah. And there's, I think that's a little essay about Kyra. Yeah. And that goes on for, whoops, gone too far. A couple of pages. There's my girl. Okay. Okay, Fairy Tale. Let's try and knock this up. I've always loved a fairy tale, but I guess I didn't believe in magic myths or talking bears until I found my own small bean. My baby's not a fairy, but she's got a wagging tail, and she's the one who saved my life, not some royal male. I never wanted or ever needed to find my true love's kiss, but from the moment she licked my chin, I felt true love exist. You can keep your fairy godmother. I'll ignore the siren's call. I'll take you bouncing round the room like a precious cannonball. I don't want a fancy party with ball gowns, shoes and bands. I'd rather dance in the kitchen with her paws in my hands. I don't want the heir to a throne. I don't want cash or gold. I just want my angel by my side to love as we grow old. I'd spin straw into gold for her. I'd work all through the night. I'd throw a million balls for her, starting at first light. I'd let her sleep safe in my arms any night she picks. And anytime I'm there with hugs, she's always there with licks. I'd use my every wish for her, from magic lamp or star. I'd slay the mighty dragon for her, I'll suffer any scar. I don't need some wise wizard, my girl's too smart for that. Her beard's already grey, and she'd look cute in the hat. Her brown eyes are sweeter than chocolate, and she's my Coopery pie. So keep your gingerbread house with its hidden witch inside. Her bum's round as a pumpkin, front paws sharp as pins, and to see my baby smiling, oh, I'd give anything. Daisy-studded emerald leather lays under baby bear as she runs through the open fields, smiling without a care. She flops into a roll, then wriggles in long grass, so seeds like tiny snowflakes are sprinkled on her back. She snorts like a hungry piglet and sighs with her whole heart, wet tongue lolling from her mouth. Please, never let us part. Yes, my little fairy tale poem for Kyra, because she is my baby bear and I love her so much. So it's a silly one, but I wanted to do something special for her, and hopefully other dog lovers can relate, you know? Because I would do anything for her. She's wonderful and beautiful, and I love her so much. She's so cozy down there on the floor. Bless her. Yeah. If you do like animals, you will love the photos in this book. Like, I've just got such a selection in here. Yeah, I think the angle's a bit off. I'm trying to show it, but yeah, big selection of things and stuff, and paintings and art and all sorts. Yeah. Okay, where are we at? Let's see what you're all saying. You have the best nicknames for Kyra. Oh, she has so many nicknames. Don't you, baby bear? Yeah, my little pumpkin pie? Oh, just a big stretch puddle duck. Bless her. Love that girl. Oh, this poem is relatable. Nothing like loving your doggy. Yes. It's adorable how you speak about her. It's just how I feel about my guinea pigs. Oh. Also, I love my copy of Reflections on Healing. Thank you so much for helping me heal. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. That really, really means a lot. Just became my favourite poem of yours. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're all lovely. Thank you so much. I like taking photos just for fun and sketch and drawing, which I've done recently. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. How'd you get interested in photography, particularly pairing it with things you've written? So, oh, thank you for becoming a channel member. You're part of Team Pickle. Oh, thank you, Lady Lavender. Is it Lady Lavender or Lady Lavender Lover? Do I need to say the whole thing? Because I will. But yeah, so the question, how did I get interested in photography? That's actually something I cover in a little essay if you want to hear it. Hang on. I think it's in the introduction. Go on, I'll read you this. This is my little introductory essay to the plants section if you want to hear this. So I have like an actual introduction which kind of covers a little bit more of this about like what I'm trying to do with the book and the photos and everything like that. But this is the introduction to the plant section, which is right at the beginning of the book. Not read all my essays before like this. Other than for the audiobook. Oh my god, that's the other thing I don't think I've told you. If you buy the hardback book like this, there's a little bit in the back that's got a code you can use on my website to download the audiobook for free. Otherwise you can just buy the audiobook yourself. But if you buy the hardback, you get the audiobook for free. And it's just a little one I've recorded at home. It's nothing fancy. But you can hear me read all the poems and the essays if you want. So, okay, right. Other than my dog Jasper, plants were probably the most photographed thing from my childhood. They're why I fell in love with photography. My dad was a keen gardener. Every windowsill in the house was stuffed with seedlings and cuttings, the front yard packed with as many potted plants as he could fit, and meticulous flower beds lined our small section of the garden we shared with our neighbours. The top of the garden was kept wild though. Some of my earliest memories are of that space filled with weeds, wildflowers, old oak trees, long grass that was taller than me for a time, and, if you were willing to climb a wall and scramble through some mud, a secret little path up onto the Transpennine Trail where everything got even wilder. I had a little point-and-shoot APS camera passed down from my wonderful sister Sarah Jane, and later, at 13, my first little point-and-shoot digital camera that my mum and sister spent months saving up for. I'd spend hours wandering around the garden, photographing flowers, leaves, weeds, grass, a football abandoned by the kids from up the road, next door's cat, some seemingly boring rocks, but none of it was boring to me. I wanted to capture it all. I'd lay on the grass, roll around, dig in the mud for bugs, all to try and get a good photo. Those are some of my favourite childhood memories. I was often alone, but rarely lonely in those moments. Then of course there were our holiday photos. Me, mum and granny used to love a little holiday once a year when we could afford it. We'd usually do a coach tour where me and my mum were the youngest people by several decades to somewhere in the UK. The Isle of Wight, Blackpool, Torquay. My favourite was Llandudno in North Wales. Or the Welsh pronounce it more like Llandudno, but I'm not good at a Welsh accent, so we'll just use the English pronunciation of London. Each holiday, I get my little APS film camera and photograph the whole thing, thinking hard about what I wanted to spend. There's 25 little exposures on. When you have limited shots, you have to make each one worth it. Somewhere we probably still have boxes full of photos of castle walls, cliff faces, and donkeys on the beach, rather than family portraits. I didn't realise at the time that it might seem funny to some that I always gravitated towards photographing plants and animals back then, and never people, but looking back now, it made sense for me, and I think I can finally put into words why. I understand nature in a way that I've never really got people. People are loud and confusing, and I've always been a bit wary of them, but plants, animals, and fungi, they're different. Plants, for example, are constant. Slow and steady, they allow you time to sit in silence with them and understand them, to look at them from every angle and appreciate their beauty, their flaws, their functions. I relate to them too, especially common flowers, weeds, and ugly plants, all the ones people usually overlook, but that keep our world functioning, keep our insects and animals fed, keep our ecosystems in balance. they do have beauty in their own right. In my mid-20s, I started to become fascinated by the world of fungi, in particular mushrooms, and I'll be talking about them a little more in a later, I'll be talking about them a lot more a little later in this chapter. I love to take my dog Kyra into the local forest and woodland where we explore together. She runs around finding logs to jump over and sticks to chew, while I examine every fallen tree, every patch of grass, and every inch of floor and branch up and down looking for mushrooms. Even if you don't want to photograph or paint them like I do, it's a really great activity to try and make you aware of your surroundings. Every person I've taken mushroom hunting has said some variation of, I didn't realise just how many mushrooms I was walking past every day once I'd started pointing them out. That's what I want to try and capture in my photographs. I don't just want people to see, oh, that's a pretty flower, but I want them to see what I see and really pay attention to the world around us. Through viewing my photos, I want them to slow down and look. Really notice how plants and fungi are formed, what they do, their colours, textures and shapes, their place in the world, and how they interact with other plants and animal and fungi. I want them to take note of how certain patterns and forms repeat throughout nature and can be seen in other completely different plants and animals. I want other people to relate to these plants and understand what their place is in the world, just like I do. I want to draw people's attention to the natural world in the hope that they will continue to spread these same ideas and feel encouraged and encourage others to protect the world around them. All too often we're careless about destroying the world around us. People spray weed killer thoughtlessly. They cut down trees who have been growing for centuries. They tear up gardens and green spaces. So many plants are in danger from diseases that people don't even bother to learn about. Humans are destroying entire ecosystems every day, and for what? Some of my photos in this section are taken in places like Kew Gardens and other botanical gardens around the world. I love those places. You can really immerse yourself in the world, learn about so many plants, see the most beautiful plants you can never get a chance to see otherwise, and the work they do in regards to conservation and education is invaluable. But plenty of these photos are also taken out in the wild, and that's something we really need to protect and appreciate. We can't allow ourselves to be cut off from the natural world or keep destroying it. I hope my photos inspire you to take a good look at the world around you and immerse yourself in all its beauty. And then I've got a little painting there for you. And then it goes on into all my little plant and flower photos for a while. So that's just the introduction to that section. And each section has little essays about maybe like why I took some of the photos, or how I get inspired creatively, or places that I've travelled to, or performances that I've done, bands that I photographed, like absolutely all sorts. And it's very much a book about identity, creativity, and nature, and the relationship between them all. So it's something really damn personal to me, you know? And that it took me so long to decide on a name for this as well. I was really, really struggling to title it. And when I finally came to Outside, I was like, this is so right, because I spent so long, and I speak about this in the introduction, I spent so long feeling like an outsider in this world, and feeling like I wasn't really fitting in anywhere, I didn't really have a place in it. And then once I actually got my autism diagnosis, I was like, oh, like that kind of makes sense now. And that kind of opened me up to fitting into different places and still feeling like an outsider in some places, but not others. And I also found that as I sort of grew my connection with nature and spent more time literally outside, I felt like I was finding my place and finding somewhere that I fit in more, and that connection with nature fostered my creativity, and working on creative projects helped me meet other people, and that helped me fit into places. So it's a big all-encompassing title for the positives and the struggles in my life and how they all make me who I am today, you know? Does that make any sense? I don't know if it does anymore. Okay, where are we? Oh, bless Sarge says your art really inspires me to work on my own. I want to share my art, but I'm so worried it's not good enough. Oh, you absolutely should. Like, everyone starts off, like, pretty terrible, but I would guess, one, you're probably way better than you think you are, and two, like, it's not about how good you are, it's about sharing that part of you and sharing something that you love, and that will absolutely inspire others as well, and that's something really, really commendable. And also, it's just fun, you know? Doing something for yourself is fun, but when you can like open up and share it with your friends and be like, hey, I made this thing, what do you think? Like, then maybe you can work on projects together, or you get feedback from them, or just get a lot of like support and encouragement, and again, really beautiful. So yeah, definitely share it. Absolutely do. Where are we at? Still a little debate going on in the comments. Before I go, I watched your videos for around a year now. This year I got in and left. Oh, bless. An abusive relationship. I used to think I was too smart, but your videos have helped a lot. Thank you so much for all you do. A non-emotional relationship. Yeah, no, you can use those words, it's fine. Bless you, I'm so sorry. I absolutely 100% commend you for getting out of there and leaving. That is so damn brave and strong, and that's absolutely incredible. But never blame yourself for being in that situation. I was like you. I thought, oh, it'll never happen to me. Like I'm too aware, too smart, too aware. Like no, you can never be too smart for that. You can never be too aware. It can happen to absolutely anyone, and it's not your fault at all. You know. No, but amazing that you got out. Like really well done. It's such a wonderful philosophy for your photography and resonates so much with my own as a photographer. Every time I go on a hike, I think walk slowly and look closely. Love that, love that. So talented and flabbergasted. Oh, bless you, thank you. Mother Nature is the ultimate authority. I love your message. Oh, bless. You're all wonderful. Thank you so much. Nature is healing, absolutely. I made and printed my own poetry book after I got Reflections on Healing. I've been thinking about it for a while, but I'm so happy to have it, even if there'll only ever be one copy. That's incredible. I'm so proud of you for that. Well done. That's such an achievement. That's amazing. Very Mitchy. I think you and Mary Shelley would have been the best friends if you'd grown around the same place and time. She was also an autodidactic polymath. That is like the best compliment ever. Thank you. That's so nice. This is lovely. Right, how are we doing for time? God, I've been doing this, what, hour and 40? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. I love how you combine all your art forms. My ADHD makes it feel impossible to finish anything or stay on any one type of art form. Your books make it seem possible to combine that into something. Oh, I'm so glad it can be inspiring like that. But I completely get it. It might help you to do things like have like a friend who can help you with like accountability or organization. That could be something that helps. I know that I personally when I get passionate about something, I just have to work on it and work on it and work on it, and I can't think of anything else. And sometimes I get passionate about many projects at once, which means I'm constantly doing stuff and it never stops. And it's tiring. But I know not everyone's brain works like I do. So if you're struggling to like finish stuff or start stuff, then maybe just chatting it through with a friend could help, and like having them be like, hey, just remember you need to do this today, or try and do this, or I don't know, something like that. Yeah, words and stuff. Hi from America. So many people did protest. That's what you're watching for. Oh, I think I'm missing stuff here. Are your videos completely scripted or some parts improv? Either way, I find the length quality really impressive. Oh, thank you. I generally script everything. So my script for the last video was literally 20,000 words. And it took me a hell of a long time to write. And I think I like scripting because I have like a lot of references and stuff, and I want to make sure I'm like properly quoting people and properly referencing people and getting all my like statistics and stuff right. And also scripting has been really, really helpful these past few years while I've been dealing with all this brain fog, because I do find like things just slip out of my brain so easily. My memory's not what it used to be. And I definitely struggle to improvise more than I used to. That's a big thing I've been struggling with these past few years. But what was I going to say? Yeah, it's happening right now. Yeah, but I do occasionally, like, when I remember something on a whim, or, like, maybe if I've, like, written a script and then read something since, or watched something since, I'll be like, oh, actually, while I'm here, let me just say this. And I tend to, like, go on little side rants sometimes. Sometimes they're not relevant, and I do actually end up cutting them from the video. But sometimes they stay in, you know, it just depends if I think it fits or not. Some people do think I should edit down my videos more and make them more succinct, but I think there's a place for that, and some content creators are really, really good at the concise fact, 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 thought, fact, fact sort of thing, and they just get it down, they get it out quick, and some people are really good at that. Whereas I think my strength is in, well, I'd call it a strength. I think I do have a tendency to over-explain, which probably comes with the autism. It almost definitely comes with the autism. And I think that can be a bit much for some people, but I also think some people whose brains work like I do really like that and they appreciate that. And I kind of don't just want to be surface level and quick and concise. I want to be like in depth and be like, well, let's think about this. Let's look at multiple perspectives and let's see what this person says and this person says and this person says, and then I'll say that, like, my opinion is kind of this and kind of this and kind of this, and that is way too much for some people, and that's fine. But I also think, like, that's the kind of content I like to watch and consume, and so that's the kind of content that I want to make, and I hope it targets a similar audience. We'll see. A few people are leaving now, so thank you all for being here. Those of you who are here, I think I'll probably go for like another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap this up, if that's okay. And I think my little baby bear might wake up then and need to go out, so this should be timed quite nicely, I think. Yeah, okay, so Max, you get this. I'm exactly the same. My autistic need to over-explain start that again. My autistic need to over-explain my... My dissertation advisor calls it writing defensively. I'm working on a balance. Yeah, despite tripping over all my words there. Yeah, I can completely relate to that. Completely can. I appreciate your responses to Sean Head in your recent video. You're always very thoughtful in your analysis. I found that was quite an interesting one, because there were a lot of Sean Head defenders in the comments, like quite a lot. And there were some people like, no, you take her out of context. You're misinterpreting what she's saying here. They're like, she would never mock people on the left. And I'm like, most of that video was her mocking lefties. Like, she would sarcastically read out their tweets and go, lefties, liberals. And I'm like, maybe we just not misinterpret. Maybe we each interpreted it in a different way. But I still stand by my analysis of her video, because I don't... Yeah, I had some issues with... I have issues with her content in general. Not to be dramatic, but I've never understood people who say she's like a left-wing content creator, because I know she always calls herself like slightly more left-wing and liberal, but I've also seen her call herself like a centralist. But then so many of her words and actions are screaming kind of right-wing and internalized misogyny and reinforcing patriarchy. So I find there's a little disconnect between what she labels herself as and the content she puts out, and I've always had a bit of an issue. And it was actually really interesting, because when I first started YouTube, you guys know I was dating Dan, and we definitely had some political differences between us, and it's kind of taught me that I don't want to date someone again who is that different to me. But he was occasionally a bit of a Tory voter and stuff like that, and I remember him saying that, like, and he was one of the reasons that, not him, but the way I felt being with him and around him was one of the reasons that I felt weird labeling myself as a feminist for a long time. And I feel like leaving him was amazing. I really kind of came into my own after that and did a lot of work on who I was and who I believed, and got a lot more self-esteem afterwards. But yeah, I remember when I started out, he was like, oh, like, let me send you some YouTube channels of like people who, like, you could be like them, you could be inspired by them, you should make videos like this. And one of the first people on the list was Sean Head, and I was like, are we watching the same videos here? Because this is never gonna be me. And yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. Right, where are we in the chat? Oh, this is a question about my book. What inspired the lovely cover? First, thank you. Secondly, can you give me a second, because I'm going to go get the original painting and show it you, if that's okay. So just give me 1 second. You can look at my window while I'm gone. Hi, gorgeous girlie. You've been so good, Angel. Okay. Right, if you saw any weird movement out there, I promise it's not ghosts. There's just a main road that goes down there. So this is the original painting, and it's huge. I went through so many different paintings for this cover, and I had photo covers at first, and then I had different painted ones, and I did other paintings for it. None of it felt right, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. So when I took my time away from the book and like did some thinking about it, I just kind of like was struck with inspiration one day, and I was like, I think I know what I want to do. And I just got out my paints and all my favourite colours, and I just sat there at my table and spent a few hours painting this. I was gonna call him a little guy, but he's kind of huge. See? And the idea is, it's meant to be very, 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 very abstract, but it's kind of two faces looking at each other, if that makes sense. So, don't know if you can see that, I don't know if it makes sense. But yeah, it's meant to be two very abstract portraits of faces, and it's meant to be an idea of like two people outside looking at each other, connecting, but also kind of like connecting with yourself, like your current self and your past self, or your present self and your future self. It's kind of meant to be about connection and reflection, and that's what it's meant to be. And then I've got lots of like little natural images around with like these little leaves and spirals and all this stuff, and I've got these little like kind of sewing marks all over, because I still want the theme of healing to run through this book like it does with my first book. And yeah, there's just this took me a lot longer to paint than I thought it would, but it felt very right, and when it was done I was like, this is it, this is my cover. I picked all my favourite colours, and they all kind of have very special meanings, and they're all meant to represent like different parts of my life and my art and how I feel about the world around me. And I wanted it to be very natural, but very like optimistic and bright and bold, and yeah, there's a lot going on. So there you go, big abstract attempt at portraits. And yeah, if you've seen, this is how it turned out on the book. So I think it came together quite well. It's nice. Okay, where are we at? Some hi from America and Canada. It's afternoon there. It is currently 9:10 here at night, so it's quite dark, quite late. Oh bless, thank you, Rebecca. I've had brain fog increasingly for a few years, and your description helped me put into words. Helped me to put words to that feeling. It's a horrible sensation, is it? It's so messy, and like sometimes I feel not like myself because my brain doesn't work like it used to, and I know it's the result of like years of constant like chronic pain and illness, but it's hard to feel like me sometimes when my brain doesn't work like it used to. And like these basic things that I should remember, I'm like, I know they're in there, I just can't quite reach them, and things get foggy, and yeah. But I'm sorry you're going through it too. Do you ever sense yourself for the chance of certain people in your real life coming across your videos? I started a Substack, and I just hate that sometimes I can't help but censor my art. That's another really great question. No. Put it simply, no. I'm at a point now where, while there's still things I'm figuring out, I feel very confident in like my core beliefs, and like especially my beliefs in like equality and intersectional feminism, and you know, pro LGBTQ rights and anti-racism. Like they're things that I don't think I should ever have to censor because I feel so strongly about them. And if anyone in my real life had a problem with them, I'd be like, well, why are you in my life? You know, this is something we need to address. So there's that. I do think it's quite interesting because like there's certain things in my life that I've never really spoken to my family about, like dating and relationships, that opening up about that online in the first place actually helped me open up a lot more to my family and stuff, which is nice and unusual. Same with like all my like uterus health issues. That's something I could never really speak to my family about, or my friends. But like going through it and being like, well, half the problems I had are because I didn't know what was normal, because I didn't have anyone to speak to about it. So I started being like, well, maybe if I talk about it online and, you know, speak about what is and isn't normal and what's a problem and what are these red flags you should look out for, then maybe other people won't be in the situation I was. And that in itself has made me more open about it, and then hopefully other people are more open, and then I'm more open. It's just a nice positive cycle, you know? So I can understand the censorship and the fear, and that was another thing. Like when I started my YouTube channel, I was self-censoring a lot more as well, because there were things I was worried about. Like some of you probably know this, but I had an issue with hurting myself quite badly for most of my adult life, and it was something I was still doing when I started YouTube, and I was so petrified about people finding out, whether that was people online watching me or my family, my parents, and that sort of thing. And it was like a constant dark shadow over me, and it added to my anxiety and stress and everything like that. And it sadly like all came out and was public in the worst way possible, with me having like a massive breakdown. But once it wasn't hidden anymore and once everyone knew about it, it actually made it so much easier to heal and cope with. And I still struggle now. I still get the urges. I absolutely do. But I'm currently like 18 months without, well, a bit more than 18 months, about 20 months completely clean from it without doing any of that at all. And I think it's because I've been able to be so open with both my audience and my family and my friends that I've actually got a support network now, and I don't feel alone, and I don't feel ashamed of it, and it's a lot easier to cope with and manage. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche, just like, oh, tell people about it and it gets easier, but like, I was like, oh no, that actually does work, doesn't it? So yeah, there's that. Respect for authority. Says, I'd love to support you with a view, but I have to study at least a little bit today. Your video is amazing. Oh, bless. Well, thank you so much for the super chat, and good luck with studying. Thank you. Here's a lady saying she's a feminist but had right-wing ideologies. That's Shoe on Head. She's called June, but she goes by Shoe on Head. She's been around ages. Millions of views, millions of subscribers. She's huge. Yeah. And I understand I'm probably in the minority, like, not liking her that much, and that's fine, you know? Matt's heading off to bed. It's super lovely to be here. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Really do. Oh, did you ever read The Body Keeps Score? No, but it is also on my to-read list. Like so many books. Like, oh god, there's so much I want to read and never enough time in the world. It's sad, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Hate brain fog sometimes. It makes other people think I'm stupid. I get that, and you're not stupid. You're absolutely not. It's just sometimes it's hard to make those connections in a timely manner. You just need to sit there and think about it for a while, you know? I think it's my echo chamber, but I can't think of anyone who likes Shoe on Head. No comment. My comment section would disagree with you. I have to be honest, I did block a few people who were Shoe on Head supporters because in other comments they were being quite misogynistic. So, you know, I don't block people often, but I've been doing it increasingly because I can't deal with, like, I don't want to censor people too much in the comments section, but at the same time, like, if some people are just out and out spreading hate speech, or just like, I'm like, they're not really adding anything useful, they're just here to argue for the sake of it, I'm just like, they can go somewhere else, you know? So, oh, Wilma, thank you. It's lovely, congrats on the 20 months, that's so great. You are an absolute angel, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. About the comments under the male loneliness video, I don't get why some people get mad because you're still calling out Kurt's hateful behaviour. I'm starting to believe they're hateful themselves. Yes. But surprisingly, they were in the minority, you know. I haven't had that much negative feedback about the inclusion of Charlie Kirk. In fact, that's been mostly positive, which has been the biggest shock of all. The absolute biggest shock of all. The age of polarisation, centrism will die, and the extremes will gain in popularity. Yeah, I have to agree. Rachel's been such a positive influence on me and has helped me articulate my thoughts when defending women online. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Timothy. That's so lovely. Like how you can't get an elective hysterectomy in case your husband wants you to become pregnant. Wait, what was this in relation to? Oh, what are your thoughts on medical misogyny? Like how women aren't taken seriously with pain, lack of studies on women's health issues, etc. Yeah, that's something I keep speaking about a lot. If you want some book recommendations on that, and I think I've said this stuff quite a bit before, but what's it called? Just Googling. Yeah, Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. And what is the similar book I'm thinking of? Can we get like a similar books to this coming up? Amazon. Invisible Women's the big one, but there's also another one about like misogyny in medicine. Oh, the Authority Gap. The Authority Gap by Marianne Seachart, I think covers it slightly, but it's just a great book in general. There's definitely another one I'm thinking of. I do have somewhere, and I think it's like linked in the video description or something like that. There's a link to like an Amazon storefront page that has a bunch of book recommendations on it, and one of them is like feminist books or something. I think there's something in there. Oh my god, Unwell Women, that's it. Unwell Women by Eleanor Cleghorn. That's the one. If you'd like to learn more on those topics, they are great books to start with. I have covered it in a few videos as well. Like, I think my one that's called something like Do We Still Need Feminism or something like that, I think it's covered briefly in there, and a few others, but I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, I'm afraid. Sorry. What will your next hair colour be? Will you going back to purple? Yeah, I miss my pinky purple. I am thinking of definitely going back soon. We'll see. See. It was nice to have a change though. It definitely was. My brain fog scares me at times. My grandma had Alzheimer's and it started relatively early, and I'm concerned it has nothing to do with my medication and changing it isn't going to help. That is a completely legitimate fear, but I would say go speak to your doctors. Like, absolutely do. And if they don't listen to you or take you seriously, keep asking. Change your GP, do whatever you need to. But if you're concerned, the best thing you can do is get help for it. Seriously. And I know it's a scary thing to do, but it does help. Oh, I'm cramping again. Yeah, how they ceased research into how the same substance as Viagra could be used for menstrual cramps. What was the video that I spoke about that in? Because I definitely spoke about that at length, didn't I? I can't remember the top of my head now. You know, there is actually a website called, one second, sorry, I'm so sorry. There we go. So it's called Filmot, which is Filmot, and you can search YouTube captions and subtitles. It's really, really damn helpful when I'm researching videos and looking for clips or looking for certain creators talking about certain topics or things like that. And basically you can go in and you can do the text search of like whatever you're looking for across all of YouTube, or you can search for it on a particular channel. So if you wanted to like put my channel in there and search for like Viagra, you would find that video. Or actually, let's do that right now. And find out the one that I was talking about, that medical misogyny stuff in. That is me. Select me, go on. And there we go, thank you. Viagra. Let's see how much I've spoken about Viagra. 4 videos. So it was, I spoke about it in apparently, okay, the one that I spoke about the medication thing is in, and this is surprising me, I didn't realize it was this video, Bethany Beal's singles course is worse than the others. Apparently the transcript says, something, in other videos I've spoken about how Viagra could be a fantastic treatment for bad period pain, but so far serious studies into it just haven't been done. Blah, 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 blah. Apparently I also spoke about it in a live stream called Ranking All the Books I've Read This Year. And I also talk about it in I Took Bethany Beal's Intercourse. Viagra could be fantastic for stopping period pain in women, and I think that's an issue in the transcript, it says, and legends. It would be, and letting us actually get on with our lives. So if you want to look at that thing on Viagra, I took Bethany Beal's Intercourse. But if you're ever trying to find a video where I spoke about a certain topic, just look it up on here. It's called Filmot, so Filmot. And you can do that for any YouTube channel. It's really, really damn useful. It's great. Right, where are we? I think you're one of the few creators I've seen discuss medical misogyny, and I really appreciate whenever I see it. Thank you for the book recommendations. Oh, you're welcome. You say, "Oh, my woman, I have that book and haven't read it yet." I've had it probably 2 years now. I'm procrastinating. Oh my god, that's me with so many books. I read so much, and there's still so much more to read. um, do you know any books to gain vocabulary in English? It's not my first language. My written English is atrocious. Thank you. Other people might be better at recommending this than me, because I'm not really sure about learning it as a foreign language, but you know what? This might be a little bit of an out there suggestion, but have you read A Series of Unfortunate Event books? Because they're written for like kind of children and teenagers, but the story still holds up. It's fantastic. I reread them quite often as an adult, and I love them. But there's also a lot of stuff in there about kind of like the love of reading and writing, and he'll often like use quite big words and then be like, a phrase or a word which here means, and then gives not only like a definition but a context-based definition, which can really help kind of expand your vocabulary and help you. And I think those are some of the books that kind of really got me to love reading when I was a child. And I love them. So they're A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, and I thoroughly recommend them. Other people in the comments might have other suggestions, but I think that's a good place to start. Like I say, they're written for kids, but they still absolutely hold up for adults. Fantastic. Oh, and thank you to Sable Eagle for giving those recommendations there. They're great, thank you. Is Rachel reading chat? I am. I love Series of Unfortunate Events. Louis, are you questioning the Bethany Beale intercourse video? Did you not see this? I reviewed all of her sex courses for Christian women's. They were long, in-depth videos. I went through every single lesson and like kind of fact-checked and added in extra information. It was actually really, really fun. Need to leave now, but thank you for the wonderful stream. Thank you for being here. You've made it wonderful. Thank you so much. Will you go back on Twitch for live streams, or is this a one-off? I don't know. We'll see how things go. I've been absolutely terrified to live stream for so long now. But because that was like the weird thing. A certain other channel whose name we won't say was literally like downloading all my live streams and re-uploading them to their channel, like just in full. And I was like, that's like, and then they were like kind of like clipping bits, like I think I said like kind of casually something about like J.K. Rowling. I was like, oh god, that's not great, is it? And then they were like, oh my god, why is she not like flat out condemning her? Blah blah blah. She must support J.K. Rowling, and it was getting really weird. And I didn't like the kind of constant downloading and re-uploading of my live streams. It felt like a really weird invasion of privacy, and like there was a whole copyright issue as well. And then when I asked them to take it down, they were like, you're abusing the copyright system. And I was like, but I'm not, because this is what it's there for, you know? Like, fair use is for when you're like using clips for like commentary or critique or education. This was like them just re-uploading hours of my content in full, like 20 odd hours of my content just in full. And it just made me like really weird and nervous and terrified to live stream, and I just, yeah. But thankfully they seem to have left me alone now, so I'm gonna try and do a bit more, because I have missed it, because I do feel like I connect with you guys when we do this, and we have a nice little chat back and forth, and it's nice knowing like that, like when you ask me questions and stuff, I'm like, this is what they're interested in, this is what they want to hear about, so it gives me like ideas for videos or topics, and it's just nice hearing from you, and I have missed it, but I am still quite anxious about it, so we'll see how things go. But I would like to do it a little bit more often, so I think we'll start small, doing some little YouTube ones like this, and they'll probably be kind of like surprise streams like this, where I like, because I think if I schedule them, I'm gonna get in my head and be like, oh no, I can't do this. But if I just kind of have it where I'm like, I've got enough energy, I start again. Like I've got enough energy. I've got a free evening. Let's just do it. I think it might be. I'm less likely to back out, you know. Anyway, I'm rambling. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh, Wilma says, I really enjoy Diana Wynne Jones's books, like Howl's Moving Castle, amongst others. Also, eyes for picking up English better. I really, really, really want to read more of her books, because I've only read the opening, like, chapter of Howl's Moving Castle, and I loved it, and I also loved the film version, so I'm really, really keen to read that. Weren't you called transphobic over Elliot Page? No, I don't think so. That's... I mean, a certain YouTuber doesn't like me and will, like, has just made up stuff about me and called me transphobic. But I don't think I was about Elliot Page, because I was only ever entirely, like, in support of him, I think. I don't know. Unless... well, I don't know. But, yeah, no, I just think, despite all the lies out there, like, I am fully supportive of the trans community and their rights, and I always will be. And I think that's kind of all there is to say, really, isn't there? Anyway, oh, I just want to say thank you from the hand fasting that I'm at near Doncaster. Thank you for all your hard work. Oh, Doncaster's not too far from me. That's nice. Where are we at? Well, that YouTube's irrelevant. Well, still quite hurtful though, aren't they? Seeing you on live after a terrible day is all I needed. Finally some comfort. Oh, bless you, Joe. I'm sorry you had a bad day. Oh. Also, are you dressed as a banana in that profile picture? Because if so, that's amazing. And I thoroughly approve. Gotta love a little banana. Right, where are we at? It's 9:30. You know what? I might have a glass of wine with you guys, because I haven't done that in ages, if that's okay. Can you guys give me a second to go grab a little bottle of wine, and we'll open that and have that together? I used to quite enjoy having a glass of wine on a live stream with you guys. It's like having a drink with a friend, isn't it? So let's do that. Give me 1 second. Again, enjoying my window, and I'll be back. Love you, gorgeous girl. Such a good girl. Good deal. Love you, babe. Oh, God. Okay. I'm back, and I nearly banged my head on the lampshade. Okay, today we have a Hardy's Sauvignon Blanc. Not my favourite wine, not my first choice, but I had some people over the other night and this got left behind, so here we are. We're having a Sauvignon Blanc. It smells quite... what is that? A little bit acidic. Normally I'm a Pinot Grigio girl, or a Picpoul, or even a Chenin Blanc. I like that. Love good Riesling occasionally. Viognier. Sauvignon Blanc is not... it's actually probably one of my, like, lower ranked wines, but it's what we have. This is fine. My fridge is full of, like, just stuff people have left at the minute. We've got alcoholic beers. I've got a Guinness in there. I've got a Chardonnay. I don't drink any of them. Oh, they're cute glasses, aren't they? I love them because they remind me of mermaids. So they're like blue to pink. They're beautiful. Though it looks a little green at the minute with the wine in it. But cheers, guys. Wait, where's the camera? There's the camera. Boop. Little cheers. Oh, actually, that tastes a lot nicer than it smells. That's fantastic, actually. Really surprised. What have we got? Oh, Thea says hi from Sheffield. Big fan of your videos. As a fellow Sheffield girl, hello. I mean, I don't live there now, but I grew up kind of in between Barnsley and Sheffield, so it's always got a place in my heart. What have we got here? Oh my god, wait, is that profile picture Onision? No, that's not Onision. No. Oh, the gentleman in my profile picture is a K-pop idol. I'd love to dress as banana though, it'd be therapeutic. See, I knew that wasn't Onision. Didn't get the creepy vibes from it. Ooh, raspberry lemonade. Love a raspberry lemonade. Don't like wine, so I'll have chocolate. Thoroughly approve. Yes. Where are we at? Oh, Isabella, thank you. says, hey Rachel, I got your second book a few days ago. Haven't had the chance to read it yet, but my mum flicked through it. She doesn't speak much English, but she loved the photography. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. If you, I'm assuming you might have just joined, but if you do want to go back and like watch bits of this live stream, I read a couple of poems from this book and one of my little essays from it earlier, so you might enjoy that. But thank you so much for getting my book. Like, I really, really do appreciate it. I also, well, actually it was Ollie from Stornoway. I gave him a copy to say thank you for all his help with it and just like being a massive inspiration and being wonderful. And he sent me this absolutely like gorgeous photo of like his daughter looking through my book, and he was like, she loves the animal photos, and apparently she was like flicking through the pages looking at them all, and it was really, really damn cute. So that was like the biggest compliment I've got for it so far. That's very sweet. What else we got? So depending on the lighting, it's either a bisexual glass or a trans glass. Well, I mean, they're both have blue and pink, but yeah, I guess so. I guess it's just like if the background is dark or white, it's gonna look more bi or more trans. Either way, we support them both, so it's all good. Where are we at now? I'm getting your book for myself for Christmas this year. Oh, bless, thank you. The rosé I got here is nice. I've not tried that one yet. Oh, had not tried that one yet. I'm so hit and miss with rosé. Sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. But you know, I still think about, I don't know if you guys saw, but over on my second channel, and I think on TikTok and Instagram actually, I reviewed Sophie Ellis Bextor's rosé wine called Rosé on the Dance Floor, and oh my god, I still think about that wine. It was so damn good. It was really, really tasty. Like such really nice berry flavours, like oh, wonderful. Really wonderful. Absolutely love that. Checked in for the poetry and missed it. That's okay, Angel. We can do another poem if you want, actually. We could, if you want, I'll read you something from Reflections on Healing. So this is my first book. We've not done one of these tonight. Let's have a think. What do you guys want? These are all a little sad, aren't they, actually? Let's think. I could do, it is a little long, but do you guys fancy a little Puppet Master? This is quite fun. This is about being in and escaping an abusive relationship, and it's all told in rhyming couplets. You could do that if you want. No, watch a horror movie after. Oh, I love horror films. Absolutely love them. When you do my poetry reviews, I love to see all of them. Absolutely, in time I will. I feel like I don't quite have the inspiration for like what I'd want to talk about with one just at the minute, and I don't really like making myself do videos just for the sake of it. Like, I've got to feel really passionate about it, and I've got to feel, you know, a little like oof behind it. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be doing more in the future. I'm just not sure when or what they'll be yet, but at some point. I was saying earlier in this live stream, I tend to go through kind of cycles with my content where I focus on some topics more than others, and you know, we'll see. But okay. Right, okay, let's do Puppet Master. This is a little long, but a damn Puppet Master, gonna be more mind for that one. Tell me about it. Unless it's too dark, you don't want me to do it. But I do think it has an inspirational ending. It's an uplifting ending. Yeah, go on, why not? The sooner I start, the sooner I'll finish. Okay, so this is Puppet Master. And again, a while since I've performed, so bear with me. Ladies and gentlemen, and all you good folk, come on, come all to see this fine show. Behind the big top where the acrobats swing, clowns take a tumble and the divas all sing, you'll find a quaint tent away from the rest, where a small man will tell you his act is the best. So come gather round as the puppet show starts. He'll dazzle your eyes and capture your hearts. It starts with a doll, alone on the stage, with breathtaking beauty on her painted face. You can't see the strings as she dances around. As the music swells, she won't make a sound. But you'll marvel at her beauty and grace, her elegant dress of satin and lace. She seems to move with freedom and joy. You'll soon forget she's merely a toy. And after the show, Puppet Master appears. He glows with delight as he drinks in the cheers. You can't help but stare, to think he's the star. You admire all his work, at first, from afar. Then you creep closer, your cheeks are blushing, and you notice all the other guys and girls who are rushing to tell him he's great, how much they enjoyed it. Oh, he's such a talent, but of course he knows it. Then, across the room, he meets your eyes, and with one simple look, you fall for his lines. Around you, the crowd thins and grows quiet. Everything dims as his spotlight. Around you, the crowd thins and grows quieter. Everything dims as his spotlight grows brighter. As he opens his mouth and asks for your name, you feel yourself growing, yearning for change. Potion slips from his lips and enters your blood, and all you can feel is joy, peace, and love. He tells you tall tales, faux feminist fables, of history and art and romance with no labels. He tells you he loves you, there's no one like you. You're smarter and prettier, more talented too, than any of the men or women before. Well, except you have that one flaw. But no need to dwell, he'll fix it someday, when you're finally ready to hear what he has to say. Hollow promises fall from his wine-stained lips, and you believe it all because you want to be his. He promises to give you the whole wide world. You'll be the star of his show, his only girl. But only if you agree to become his next puppet. He'd treat you so well if you just sit down and shut it. Stop making a fuss, stop making noise, forget your old life, become one of his toys. His dazzling smile clouds your best judgment, and you'll quickly agree to all that you shouldn't. The circus around you fades far away. He ushers you smoothly to the back of his stage, and inside is a workshop filled with wood, paint, and saws. Dust coats all the benches, equipment, and floors. You forget all your plans for candy and cake. Hot dogs and burgers will just have to wait. The usual scents of the fair start to fade, and behind a thick curtain you find a large cage. Inside sits the puppet you saw in his act, and with none of his usual charm or tact, he starts to compare you, measure for measure, pointing out both of your flaws with some sort of sick pleasure. You shrink away from his touch and cover your ears, but he screams that though she's been with him for years, it's you who is special, and without you, he's lost. And you see with a flick of his wrist, she is tossed onto a pile of rejects and losers, marionettes he swears he no longer uses. The illusion of beauty and freedom is shattered, as you see what he's done to those who once mattered. Hundreds of puppets lay in a heap, with broken limbs, split lips, and wounds that run deep. Up close, you see cracks and splinters and chips, and that is when Puppet Master flips. With the swiftest of movements, he grabs for your wrists, sweeps you around, and goes in for a kiss. When he tells you you're different, he'd not treat you the same. You're wary, but start to believe all his claims. You're lost in the moment, lightheaded and giddy, so much that you don't see the string he has hidden. He loops it around your arms, legs, and head, and begs you to hush, be compliant instead. You almost don't notice the knots he's weaving, holding you down to stop you from leaving. And soon you become the star of his show. He drags you on strings about the stage to and fro. He makes you pose, jump, and dance as a new audience files into the stands. And to them, he's charming, attentive, and loving. They don't see your pain from the wires he is tugging. They don't see the bruises which litter your limbs, or the hours he's lost to wine, whiskey, and gin. You spend your days begging for scraps of attention, till he parades you around and gives you direction. Never letting you have a moment of peace, you're walking a tightrope and kept on a leash. And if you dare say that you think you might leave, he showers you with compliments until you believe that he really needs you. You're special, remember? He'd never hurt you, or at least he didn't intend to. So you tell him you love him, because now you know you're nothing without him and his show. And peace is restored, at least for the moment, until he gets angry and says that you owe him. Look at all he's done. This is all for you. He's sacrificed so much, if you only knew. But you're just a puppet, and too stupid to get it. A true artist like him won't let you forget it. So he threatens to get out his old doll again, Or maybe he'll find a new one this weekend. Either way, you must know, you are replaceable. He spits at you with malice. That's unmistakable. And so the months pass in tumultuous glamour, with glitter and art masking his anger, in front of the crowds who don't see what happens after the show when his temper darkens. And slowly you find yourself fading away. Your flesh starts to harden, your voice slips away. Your joints become stiffer, your bones turn to wood. And now, when he strikes you, there's no tears or blood. And you know it's only a matter of time before he tells you again, you stepped out of line. And this time, the bruises won't heal or fade. You'll splinter and crack and be thrown away. But instead of resigning yourself to this fate, one day you fight back before it's too late. You shake off your shell and find flesh underneath. Break open your mouth to eat, speak, and breathe. And with your tongue sharp as Sheffield steel, you slice through his strings and begin to heal. A new woman emerges from that broken old shell. And though you know you've been through hell, your new skin is glowing with power and strength. And your new eyes take in the man in his tent. Where once you admired his beauty and skills, now you can see him with none of his frills. He is a withered old man, lonely and sad, who drinks too much wine when he feels good or bad. He's hollow and broken, grasping for attention, prancing around on a stage with shameless pretension. And without one last glance, you run from the circus, leave that old fool with no friends or purpose. And while you alone will live your life to the fullest, remember, what is a puppeteer without any puppets? This is a little bit dark, but I think it has a happy ending, because she gets away, I got away, you can get away. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. But thank you for letting me do that. Felt good, actually. I've missed performing in general. I just need to, like, actually get back up on a stage now and do it, and just, you know, believe in myself a bit more. So we'll see how that goes. I hear you correctly, you only make about £1 off each of your books sold. I'm so bad at hearing numbers. Sorry if that's the case. That should be robbery. Your art's worth more than that. It depends on the area and what you buy. So I make about £1.50 to $2 for this. And the ebooks I make a little bit more. I make about £2.50 or $3-ish off the ebooks. So it's not a huge amount, but you know, it is what it is. I want to try and keep them as affordable as possible for people. And that means I don't make as much money, then so be it. You know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's better than overcharging you guys. Oh, bless, thank you. Stella Luna Spacebat, I love your name. Get the reference, love the book. Thank you for transforming such a horrific experience into something artful and meaningful. Rise above the pain, break open your mouth, such a beautiful ending. Oh, bless. Thank you all so much. Like, that really does mean a lot. Thank you. Oh. Ooh, little fly in here. You're a gorgeous one. You're in a big stretch. Yeah. Bless. Kyra's been so good while I've been live streaming, hasn't she? Such a little angel. I love that girl so much. Loved hearing that again. Definitely go perform. I just moved to Barcelona. Amazing. And I'm really missing all the poetry nights and open mics I usually go to. Oh, you should definitely see if you can find something local. That would be amazing. Love your performance of that, but goddamn poem puts me in a mental state I don't like. My father was one of those. I'm so sorry. That's so rough. Love what you're wearing. I'm actually growing oyster mushrooms right now. Oh my god, love that. Absolutely love that. Oh, that's great. Came from your poetry videos a couple of weeks ago. Oh, no way. Oh, yeah, so that one's from my first book, Reflections on Healing. The other ones I did today were in Outside. Outside has also got, it's got Mermaid, it's got Mr. Wolf, which is my favourite and most difficult poem I've ever written. It's got a gift in here, got my silly little jellyfish poem, which is just a very, very silly short one about, it's about blame and forgiveness and were the people who hurt you really mean to, and how it's kind of questioning, like, does their intention even matter if the damage is still done? And it's a very short poem with a lot of questions in it. I've got Tower, which is about me feeling like left out as a kid, when, well, it's basically an undiagnosed autistic kid and feeling very left out, so that's about that. Glass is another one about trying to change yourself to fit relationships that are wrong for you and the harm that can cause and getting away from it. Yeah, it's just a lot of different stuff in here. Not as many poems as this book, but like I say, you've got the essays instead. So, and also all the photos and paintings, and it's just a big cohesive art piece in one. Oh, I love hearing Kyra's snores, and she's such a snory little girl. She has so much to say even in your sleep, don't you, baby? I think she is getting more snorty and snuffly as she gets older, but I think it's to be expected, isn't it? You can't blame her for it, bless her. And I do enjoy her little sounds, but that's just maybe a me thing. Reciting super hard. I've been writing a bit for 15.5 years, but never recited a word until about 3 years ago. Well done! It takes a lot of confidence and courage. The fact that you've even done it, though, is amazing. Like, really well done. Jellyfish have survived for millennia, neither brains nor spines, giving up to both flat earthers and Democrat politicians. Brutal. If you talk to any fictional character... Wait, if you were to talk to any fictional character to talk some sense into them, who would it be? To talk some sense into them, that's interesting. Well, in that case, you'd probably pick a bad character who could be redeemed, right? Because I feel like I've covered a lot of, like, bad dark romance, and, like, you couldn't talk to the men in those books because there's no talking sense into them. They're just sadistic and horrible, and they don't care, and, like, especially as a woman, you couldn't talk to them because they don't respect women. They just see women as objects to be abused. Who would I talk sense into? You'd probably have to go for someone who has the capacity to be reasonable, but has made some damn stupid, horrific mistakes, you know? Like maybe like Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre, you know? I think he could be talked around to, you know, not keeping his wife locked up in an attic. Just a thought. But I think he's reasonable enough that he could be talked round. But he still needs talking round. I don't know. Tough question. I'll have a think about that one. Where are we at with chat? Also, it's getting a little late. I think we'll wrap this up soon. Probably wrap this around 10 o'clock. Did you ever play Cabernet? No, I don't think so. No, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I got a pub so I can relate to the constant puppy sounds in the background. Nearly 11 p.m. here. I'm gonna head to bed. Thank you for a lovely evening. Have fun, everyone. Save the wine. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you. Thank you. Saw you alive, glad I didn't miss you. Can't stay but want to say hi. Oh, thank you, Sarah. It's okay, you've kind of caught the end, but don't worry, I'm going to keep this online here if people want to rewatch for a little bit, and then I will probably maybe take it down and make it a Patreon only thing. I'm not sure, but it'll be at least rewatchable for a day or so, so don't worry. Or maybe I'll cut it up into clips and put it on my second channel. I don't know, I've not decided yet. I'm going to figure it out. It's fine. Had a horrible day, but thank you for making it brighter. Oh, bless you. I'm sorry you had a bad day at all, though. That's rough. Cabernet is a great game about a Victorian vampire woman. That sounds right up my street. That sounds absolutely fantastic. I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley again recently. It is my absolute go-to comfort game, and I love it. And I've got Stardew Valley Expanded downloaded, so I've been playing that a lot, and yeah, it's just really fun. I'm on like my 6th ever farm now, and this time I'm playing not as me, but as Kyra, and her dog is called Rachel. So it's basically I'm playing as Kyra and doing all the things that she would do. So basically, a lot of pigs, a lot of rabbits, because that's what Kubi would do. I think she might romance Alex just because he likes sport, and I think she'd be into that. She'd be like, oh my god, we can go play ball together. It'd be great. But it always like sometimes I forget that I'm playing as Kyra, and then one of the characters like, oh, it's really nice to see you, Kyra. I'm like, it is nice to see Kyra. It's just really nice. So I enjoy that. She's also collecting a lot of fish at the minute. She's got her house filled with fish tanks and she's collecting all the fish in tanks because I imagine that's something Kyra would do as well. So I'm having fun with it. It's great. She's also wearing a squid hat because, again, that's something Kyra would do. And apart from that, her whole outfit is pink because she's a little girly girl. So yeah, it's very fun. I do enjoy it. I would talk sense into Casablanca and Six of Crows just because. Point. No poke here, but I met a big dog this week. It was sitting by the lagoon and he came over and sniffed around for a while, then leaned on me. The more his human called for him, the harder he leaned. Oh, baby. The leaning is such a sign of trust. I love that. I love that so much. Oh, bless. It's so adorable. Yeah, I love Stardew Valley. Yeah. I'm also trying to figure out, like, what she would do mostly, like, with the crops and stuff, because I'm quite organised in my crops, but I feel like Kyra would be more chaotic, but I also still want to play, like, a decent game, and, like, have an organised farm, so I think I've settled on, like, we're going to organise to some extent, but there's going to be a little chaos in other places, like in the house and stuff. Like, I'm literally placing, like, random decorations around the farm and in the house, because like Kyra leaving her toys everywhere, that's her way of decorating, you know? So I've got, like, the owl statue that's just, like, randomly by the bin, and I've got, like, oh, what are the other statues? I can't think off the top of my head. It's the upstairs neighbours banging. Yeah, I've got, like, random little statues just, like, dotted around the farm because I imagine that's what she'd do. Oh, also, I've got, like, a whole patch of, like, trees growing that she can just, like, run in between, as you do. But anyway. Thank you for live streaming. I'm having a bit of a depression day. Thankfully they're rare now and I'm feeling less alone. Oh, bless. I'm so glad we could be here for you. I really am. And I'm sorry you're having a rough day. Yeah, you and Shelley would have been best friends for sure. She was like that with Victor. The whole thing with her mother being Mary Wollstonecraft dying during her birth and all that. I think I would have liked that. I think that would be good. I could never write as well as her though. We'll see. I don't know if I've told you guys, I'm working on a novel right now, which is really damn fun and absolutely terrifying because it's like the biggest project I've ever taken on. And I've got, like, a massive plot outline and I've written the first 4 chapters and got, like, random scenes written from other chapters, but mostly just the outline of each of them. And I'm really, really enjoying it and it's really good. And it's kind of like a fantasy novel, but it's got a big kind of, like, pro-environmentalism message. And my main character is a botanist who specialises in the relationship between plant biology and fungi, and that comes very heavily into the plot. And I'm taking a lot of, like, typical fantasy tropes and subverting them in what I hope will be interesting ways. So there's a lot of things that happen in the first couple of chapters that seem very kind of like stereotypical, like a stereotypical fantasy makeover scene, but then we realise later that, like, I don't want to give too much away, but we realise later that, like, it's a whole big analogy for overconsumption and materialism, and it's not such a good thing. And I'm finding it interesting but challenging at the minute because I want my character to be established and then thrown into this world, and then we see her behaviour changing because she's influenced by magic in a bad way. But I want it to be subtle, but also enough that the audience notices it's happening, but not enough that it seems like a character inconsistency in the beginning. So it's very difficult to write. If I can pull it off, it'll be really cool, but I don't know if I have that much faith in my writing ability. But it's a really fun project to work on. And I've had some really lovely feedback from people and friends so far, but it's still very, very early days. So, you know, give me another 5 years. Hopefully it won't take that long, but it's nice to just have something fun to work on, just for the sake of it, you know? It's really nice. Yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers away in case people want to read it, but I have a lot of ideas. Watching videos with Stardew Valley gameplay is really fun and relaxing, and I love that. You should do it more often, I quite miss it. Our statue or something by the bin should be tried in real life to make public bins more visible and hopefully reducing the amount of rubbish on the ground. It would make places a tad more interesting. I agree. I love when, like, you know, in zoos and stuff, they have bins that are shaped like animals. Love that. It's like, you know, you put in rubbish in, like, a red panda's mouth or something. Not literally, but you know what I mean. Like, why don't we have red panda bins on the streets? Let's petition the councils. More red panda bins. Have you ever played Animal Crossing? Sadly, I've not, no. Because I think that's one of the games that's on the Switch, right? I've never had a Switch. So, for me, I've got my PS5, and I've actually got my old PS4 hooked up in the bedroom here as well. And then I play PC games on my little laptop. So no Switch, sadly. So I think I'm missing out on a lot of games. Like, I've never played the Zelda game either, and oh, do you want to hear something really embarrassing? It wasn't until like 2 or 3 years ago that I realised the Zelda games are like their own thing, and it's Zelda, not Xena. Because in my mind, I was like, they're a continuation of Xena the Warrior Princess. And then I actually saw the name written down. I was like, that's not Xena. That's a Z, not an X. And then I realised it was Zelda. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, I'm an idiot. So, I can be quite dumb at times. Yeah. Sounds really cool. Love the idea for a novel. I hope so. Although I will admit there's some really dark elements to it. Like, there's a whole genocide going on of certain magical creatures by a certain person, and there's like a whole overconsumption of magic thing which is destroying the environment. And anyway, I've also made, well, I needed like a faction of fantasy creatures to help our hero in saving the day, and I didn't know who to go with, and I was thinking like, maybe we'll try and go for like something symbolic, like, is there any fantasy creature that's meant to be like healers or in touch with nature, like, I was like thinking about doing that, and I was like, no, I'm gonna be self-indulgent. I'm just gonna make them werewolves because I want them to be like the fictional embodiment of Kyra. I want Kyra to be I want Kyra to help my hero, basically. And she's my little werewolf. So I had to make some of the good guys werewolves. Because why not? Oh, bears! Bears are healers in touch with nature. That could work as well, because they could also be symbolic of Kyra. You got me thinking now. But it's okay, I haven't actually got to write in the bit yet where she meets them. That's like the second half of the book. But we'll see. Xena was a great show. God, yeah, I remember it. What was it? Was it on Channel 5 in the UK? Was it Channel 5? I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it? God, 90s. If I streamed gameplay, it would probably be getting lost in Tears of the Kingdom and slapped by trees. Love video games, but suck at them, and I'm cool with that. Oh, I also suck at a lot of games, except weirdly Fortnite. Don't tell anyone, I'm surprisingly good at Fortnite. Everything else I'm terrible at. I would absolutely, I say I would, I do usually play a lot of like games with a proper narrative. I play them on easy mode because I just want to get into the story, and I'm just like, I don't necessarily like if it's too easy, I will put it up, but I want a little bit of a challenge, but I don't want the whole thing to be like, oh, I need to do this boss fight 10 times to get it right. I'm like, I'm here for the story and the enjoyment, and I don't see anything wrong with that, Yeah. We publish as an ebook or make physical versions. I'm assuming that's in relation to my novel. Maybe if it turns out good, but it's gonna take me a while to write it yet, and then it's obviously gonna need a hell of a lot of editing, and I'm gonna need some oh my god, brain's gone again. People who like beta readers. There we go. I'm gonna need some of them and see how it goes, and then maybe some more changes. So we're a long way off from that yet. And it might not even end up good. I might not be able to pull this off. I might end up being a terrible fiction writer. We'll see how it goes. But maybe one day. If it ends up being absolutely terrible, but it's done, I'll probably just like post it on Patreon or something so people can have a giggle at it. But we'll see how it goes. We will see. It is very much like, at the minute, it's mostly outline with 4 chapters written as a very rough draft. Like, it's, yeah. Oh, you'll be a beta reader, thank you. Just bought Reflections on Healing, I'm so excited. I found it secondhand, so I'm going to figure out how to get you the money I say. Oh, bless you. No, you don't have to do that. No, you absolutely don't. You enjoy the book. Like, I don't need the money, you're fine. Just enjoy the book, and I really hope you like it. That's all that matters. But I'm so glad you've got a copy, thank you. Last year I went on my first ever cruise, the first time I was in the US. We went to Cozumel and Yucatan, sorry if I'm pronouncing them wrong, and I was so fascinated with the clear blue water in the ocean. Your video games challenge philosophy is exactly my spicy food philosophy. I'm the same with spicy food. Don't mind a bit of spice, I can handle it, but it's gotta taste good, you know? I'm all about the taste first. I'm not gonna have something hot for the sake of it. It's gotta taste good. I'm an English lit major, if that helps. Absolutely, thank you. You absolute star. Yeah. Oh, okay, right. It is 10 p.m, so I should think about getting this baby out for her last toilet before bed and getting her bedtime biscuit. But she has been so damn good, haven't you, Angel Bear? She's fast asleep, snoring away. Can't believe how well behaved. I mean, she's always well behaved, but can't believe how relaxed she's been. She is such an angel. I'm so lucky to have her. Yeah. But anyway, right. I think this is me done for tonight. I actually have to figure out how to end this live stream because I don't actually know how. And I think it might be that. We'll see. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. I was really scared to do this, and you've all made me feel so comfortable and relaxed, and I've really, really enjoyed it. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you all so much, and I'll hopefully see you again. I'm going to try and have my next video out before the end of the month, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know. It might end up being the start of next month. We'll see. But it's going to be that book review, and then we'll just go from there and see what happens. But yeah, I also need more painkillers. I think I'm struggling a bit. But thank you so much, and I've really enjoyed this. I'm seeing all your messages on screen now, although they're going a little bit quick at this point. It's a small screen, but thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good night. Bye.